All right, we are back from hiatus, season 2 of Inappropriate Earl. We're doing it right here. We ended with a bang with Bobby Brown and whoever else was on before her, I forgot. So this is a special episode because these two gents have the privilege and the world record of the longest Inappropriate Earl ever, but it was never aired because I didn't know what fragment disc meant. So I unfortunately deleted the whole episode. So it was 2.5 hours. It was a practice podcast. And, they're back for more, as Rat would say. Speaking of Rat, we are sponsored by Stephen Piercy's Mike Knuckles.
Nice.
Go pick them up. Help Stevie out. They're only $75 a pop. And go see a solo band touring the country. And put your little greasy, sweaty, fat hands together for Mr. Chris Ramirez.
Hello.
And the kid, the verbal assassin, Cole Young.
Hey guys, how you doing?
When did Cole become the verbal assassin?
I was just trying to think of something funny to say.
I like that. I mean,
these are strange times in the comedy world. We've got the talent coordinator from the Comedy Store was just fired.
Yeah, you have to explain that to us because I don't really go there enough, so I don't really know that much about it. So, but I've kind of read about it on Facebook. So, the guy was just an asshole to a lot of. Everybody says that he was an asshole to you. Like a lot of people have said that.
Well, in full disclosure, so sorry, I'm people have told me that my voice is booming on this podcast, and maybe it's because I hold the mic about an inch from my face.
Hey, who doesn't want a booming voice, man? It's like that's the way you want it. It would be better if it's like this.
And for you comics who give me your feedback out there, thinking you could do a better job than I do, you can't. Buy the gear, try and get people over to your house. Try and get these 80 celebrities to come on your fucking podcast, get better numbers than I do, and then you can tell me what to do.
Good.
You guys are like the comics who bomb for 20 minutes and then give me a tag. So I got 2 words for you. Suck it.
Nice.
Oh, I like that.
Nice.
Hey, are there any 80s people from that you're trying to get, like that you'd like to interview for your show? Like do you have any irons in the fire, so to speak? Any potential people, more 80s people? Because you have some really interesting ones.
By the way, before I get into that, I want to plug your guys' podcast, Goodnight Universe.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, it's really good, and you guys go for like 2+ hours. I try and cap mine about an hour and a half.
6 nights a week.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 2 hours.
That is crazy, actually.
I do this maybe once or twice a week because it's hard to get people over here.
Oh, yeah.
But so, answering your question, I got Stephen Piercy, the singer from Rat. We've been in communique, and he's actually a very nice guy. Calls me up and speaks to me in Rat songs. Like, hey, bro, Steven, way cool, man. We're going to lay it down soon. We'll go round and round. It's like there's a new thesaurus out there. It's Ratosaurus.
Nice.
Who I met at a UPS store in the Valley Village area of the Valley.
Hey,
And,
you should tell him that there's a guy at Sam Lee who's telling everyone that he was one of the original people that started Rat when it was.
You mean Sam Ash?
Yeah, Sam Ash. I'm sorry.
Sam Lee.
Yeah, Sam Ash. He said there's a guitar player at Sam Ash that says that he tells people that he was one of the co-founders of Rat.
Well, I also told a stripper at Fantasy Island I was the guitar player in Rat. So, I mean.
But I think he was, what was it called, Mickey Rat before?
Called Mickey Rat. Now, I'm what you would call a
Rat historian?
A rat historian. What was the guy's name?
His name, he goes by Rockin' Dave or something
Rocker
like
Dave.
I'm almost assured that there was no guy in Mickey Rat called Rocker Dave.
Rockin' Dave. Rockin' Dave. That's what everybody knows him by. But we think we looked it up on Wikipedia and it said that he had been in the band or something like that.
Yeah, but as you know, and you're a man, you're like the most technically savvy guy I know through your various appearances under ghost names, under many music and comedy boards. Anyone can edit Wikipedia.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like, I could literally go on Rat's Wikipedia page and say I was the first singer, and it would
Go in there.
go in there, which is crazy to me.
Why? But I don't see why anybody would want to do that unless they just were really just telling everybody, "Hey, I'm a fraud." You know, I mean, if I don't understand why anybody would do that unless they were really the person. Yeah.
Well, you get these idiot fans like me
Right.
who want to, stir the pot. Like today is Vinnie Vincent's birthday.
Happy birthday
man.
wherever she is.
Wherever she is. I mean, Vinnie's.
Wait, is he a she now? Did
Nobody
somehow-
knows.
There's I read a very depressing story
What?
somewhere online about him living in Memphis, and he's a recluse, and he doesn't come out, and he doesn't do anything anymore, or something like that.
Well, when Kiss got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame recently, they wanted to interview him because he's kind of a music enigma,
Right.
and they couldn't find him.
Yeah.
Like Rolling
Wow.
Stone couldn't find him. They got resources everywhere.
Right.
So, last news on him was he was living in Connecticut with a bunch of dead dogs in containers.
Oh shit.
Oh God.
He's
Oh,
like
man.
Howard Hughes crazy, and then he supposedly went to Nashville and was writing country songs under a pseudonym. And,
Yeah, that's what I read.
You know,
Apparently, he said that he was mad because he was writing a bunch of songs, and he was writing them and singing them and coming up with all the music and everything, and he was getting less money.
Well, I mean, he was kicked out of Kiss 3 times in like a 2-year period, but he was so good they kept coming. They kept bringing him back.
Yeah.
This is the same guy who was kicked out of his own band,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean,
That was named after
literally,
him.
kicked it. Vinnie Vincent was kicked out of the Vinnie Vincent Invasion, which doesn't seem humanly possible.
It's like Cole Young getting fired from Cole Young.
Yeah, it's like Bruce Springsteen getting kicked out of the Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. I mean, it's
How do you do that?
it's impossible.
You got to be really fucked up.
And then the guys formed Slaughter, and then
Oh, they I didn't know that the Vinnie Vincent Invasion is Slaughter.
well, basically Mark Slaughter and Dana Strum, they formed Slaughter. The drummer Bobby Rock went to Nelson, and the interesting thing is the singer on the first Vinnie Vincent Invasion album was Robert Fleischman, who was the original singer in Journey.
Wow.
And he actually sang on the demos that got them a record deal.
Wow.
And they wanted, I think, I don't know, for whatever reason, the record label was like, we want this guy Steve Perry, and that's got to be a bummer to know that you could have been the singer in Journey.
Oh man, I bet you
God-
that guy drinks really hard. Got some sort of substance abuse problem or something. That's got to suck.
And then probably took the gayest album photo cover ever. If you ever get the first Vinnie Vincent Invasion album, it's some spaceship design on the front, and then you turn around the back, and it's got the 4 band members.
Right.
Vinny, Dana, and Bobby look like transvestites. And Robert Fleischman's got like a mullet with a riding crop. Like, it's the gayest, it's like he refused to look like they did. They're like, this is what I'm doing.
Oh, that's so funny.
So,
Man.
and he's on some great podcasts. I don't usually plug other people's podcasts other than my friends, but these guys are kind of my friends. It's called Decibel Geek Podcast, and
Was it Decibel Peak?
Decibel
Geek.
Decibel
and
Geek.
they do a lot of Kiss related podcasts that are really, if you like Kiss, it's interesting. Like, they interviewed him, and they interviewed some drummer who did demos with Vinnie Vincent recently, and he said he was out of his mind. Like, he wouldn't let him do anything, and like he just was very like a taskmaster, and like would play the same shit over and over, and like nothing ever got done.
Wow. So like if I called them and I said, I've been working on a blues music project with Gene Simmons, do you think they would get me on there? Like,
They probably would.
Just
But they're really good. They're Kiss fans probably
Right.
more than I am, so they know how to ask the questions that should be asked.
Have you ever thought about pranking another podcast?
I mean, what is this, the Howard Stern show? Baba Booey? Those are my favorite. Like on 9/11, Peter Jennings is, doing very serious.
Oh, yeah.
They're live. This is like when 9/11 first happened, and like within an hour, Peter Jennings got some guy. He's supposed to be an airline pilot. Said he saw the first plane go into the building. And then he's like, and then I saw the second one fly out of Howard Stern's ass. Baba booey, baba booey. Peter Jennings didn't catch on to it, so he's like, "Oh, and what was that like?"
I'm being told that was,
yeah, I came here in my headset that was.
They did that. You know, they did that during OJ too. They did that when they were catching OJ, and then Al Michaels says. That's a reference to a popular radio show. I don't think that was a legitimate call.
Baba Booey, yeah. Baba Booey. So I think it was Peter Jennings again. He always gets. Yeah,
that guy. I guess he stopped doing that. We actually one time we had some guys on and they wanted to make prank phone calls. So we called. Who did we?
We called a male masseuse.
Yeah, we called a male masseuse in Venice.
Oh,
and.
It was really good.
And then the guy called. He pranked us back.
Yeah, they told him that they were all the way down in Rosarito Beach. The guy who was talking to him said, "I'm all the way down in Rosarito Beach, so it's going to be hard for me to get up there tonight." And then he calls back to our show, the masseuse guy, and says, "Hey, welcome." Chris says, "You're on Goodnight Universe." And he says, "Hey, I thought you were down in Rosarito Beach."
Yeah.
Some of these guys aren't so dumb after all.
Yeah, I know. We actually thought, wow, we have a new feature for the show. We can check in on this male masseuse. We need to reach out to him again because he was pretty funny.
Yeah, well, we tried to call him a while back, but he didn't answer. Maybe he was busy.
God damn it!
I did that once to my brother. I sent some gay prostitute over to his house.
No way!
Oh, yeah, good.
And he used to live on a second floor balcony, and we said, yeah, my name's Andrew. I'd like my massage, and I'd like some ball play or something. And we hid in the bushes outside my brother's house to throw eggs at him. So my brother answers the door, and he's like, "Hi, this is Drew. You ordered me?" And we heard my brother say, "Get out of my fucking house, you faggot." And then we threw eggs at the guy. So sorry about that. This was 20 years ago.
This was last week.
This was 2 hours ago.
You guys, so you guys were originally trying to throw eggs at your brother?
No, we were going to throw eggs at the prostitute.
Oh.
We would always crank this one prostitute.
Oh,
we'd send him to my friend's house, and throw eggs at him. I mean, the guy knew it was us every time, too. One time I sent him to my parents' old house in Bel Air, which I knew no one lived at the time. So we were in the hills like snipers with eggs, and he almost, I think, liked it. He knew every.
He knew what he was getting
crazy.
into.
You guys used to call gay prostitutes to hit them with eggs.
Yeah, well, it was really just one.
Oh, I love that, man. That's awesome, man.
Drew Spangler was his name.
Is he still in business?
That's possible. I'm not really involved in that world, so I'm not sure.
Drew, if you're out there,
if you're listening, Drew,
no hard feelings, man. And if you're still doing it, give us a call.
I think there are some hard feelings.
There's always a few hard feelings. I hope. Well, I don't know if that's been 20 years. There might not be any hard feelings anymore.
Well, he probably died of AIDS. So what the hell's the difference? But Jay, if you are out there, please, listeners of Inappropriate Earl and Goodnight Universe, I don't know, Google phone Drew Spangler massage and give him some business because we probably cost him about $3,000 in gas money.
Oh no! And this is when gas was like $1 a gallon.
Oh, that's great! I just filled up yesterday, $72, man.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Let's start bombing another country.
Wow. I thought I saw you rolling in the valley the other day. You don't go to the valley too much.
Every now and then, there's one place I audition at on Lancashire. But that's
really?
Not too often.
I thought I saw you the other day on Century Park East in the morning.
No, I used to live on Century Park East.
I was going to work and it was about around 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and I saw a red car like yours going down Century Park East, going towards Olympic.
Well, the great thing is you will know it's me because I have a Dodge Magnum, for those of you not familiar with what kind of vehicle I drive. And it's got a huge sticker on the front window of a particular stereo shop I got some custom work done. And they said, wait, listen, if we put this huge sticker on the front window will
I'll have to check that out.
take a couple $100 off.
Oh, they offered. Is that how that happened?
So it literally looks like I'm driving a car out of a NASCAR race. I mean, I can't even see out the fucking front window. It's such a big sticker.
banner.
Is there like a limit of how long you have to keep that on there? Or
I
something?
mean, I probably could have taken it off the next day, but actually, I'm not going to say the name of the shop because I'm not giving this place any business.
Oh, really? Did they do a bad job?
Well, I just, I probably spent about $8,000 on
Wow.
tires, rims, a new hood, a new stereo, a new steering wheel.
That's more than I spent on my car.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you got a nice car too.
Wow.
And they a year later have never contacted me. Just say, hey, I would think in this day and age when someone drops $8,000 on
Right.
goodies, you would want to keep in contact with them.
Wow.
Yeah, a little follow up with what you got going on for sales.
See,
or whatever.
you're the opposite. You're the opposite of me. I never want to be bothered ever by people again because I don't like it when people like you buy a car and the people still send you email and stuff. I'm like, you know what? Forget we ever met, man. Like I don't really build relationships like that with people because usually by the time something else comes up, I go somewhere else or something like that. Like I don't have a car dealer. Although
What'd you get in there? You got the rims, tires.
Rims and tires, so that was about $2,500, and the hood was the craziest part because they had to get it from someplace in New York because it had a front scoop.
Oh, I was gonna say you got a scoop.
It was a specialized scoop, but then they had to shave it because it was too big for the car, and then they had to do this wacky paint job because they had to basically it was bright
Shave
red,
it down.
but they had to almost
Fade
make
in.
it faded because the rest of
faded
the car is
color.
slightly faded, just 7 years old. So
you think the vet sees dollar signs when I go in there with Lewis? What do you think they saw when he went in there, man?
that's why I don't take my dog Lois to the vet. She just barebacks it. She's sick. She toughs
Is
it
she
out.
upstairs?
No. Gail has her. We split her.
Oh, okay.
And
Speaking of which, Gail was on
Gail
the
was
show
on the
one
show
day.
the other night.
I saw her last night at the Comedy Store.
She looks really good.
Yeah, she looks great.
Well,
She's I don't know if you think this, but she probably looks better right now, like healthier now than I've ever seen her since I've known her and stuff.
I mean, I'll give you my answers off the air, and I'm just saying, no, we get along. We're cool. So, yeah, I mean, she's doing that Arbonne beauty stuff.
Yeah.
I've tried a few of their things. I like the energy chews, but I don't. I mean, listen, everyone has their own taste buds. So yeah, and she's coming. I think on this show again.
She said you guys might do a separate type of show or something like that, a relationship type of show or something.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've listened to a few podcasts where exes talk.
Right.
It's pretty. Actually, you think two people who have had various emotions towards each other in the last year or so would not be a good podcast, but it actually works if you do it right.
We actually get relationship calls once in a while. People that are
Who from DeLuca?
Oh,
well,
my poor cousin, man. His
cousin.
wife's fucking around on him and stuff. So it's just like he's just like, what do I do? What do I do? Like, this is horrible.
I mean, it is a great topic, relationships, and I think you have to have a guy and a girl on a show like that.
You know what? I'm going to revolutionize that. Okay, if what people are doing is they're starting podcasts with their ex, the next time I'm in a relationship, I'm going to go, before we can get into a serious relationship, we need to do a podcast together.
Oh yeah, then she'll be your ex real fast.
I'll do it that way, just to make it better and stuff. But,
Well, it's an interesting topic.
one of the things we talked about with her was
how big my dick was.
well, that too as well, and she showed us pictures in her phone.
I can do that.
Well, you've just showed us. We've seen
that's
the
like
real
a new
thing.
headshot for you now. Well, it is a headshot.
Digital. It's a double. I do double digital headshots.
Double digital.
Well, what else did you
Well,
got?
we were talking
one on the
about
front, one on the back.
we were talking about the pitfalls or the ups and downs of dating a fellow comic. How at first it seems like some, to some people at least. I'm not saying it does to me, but I've heard other comics say, no, it'll be nice. We can go on the road together. I can feature for him.
I
or
would
her.
never think that.
You know what I mean? We can help write materials, material for each other. But it never works like that, does it?
I don't think I ever could, even my first day my first week of comedy, whatever, I would never consider that. I wouldn't want to be anywhere with. It'd be like working with. It'd be like I wouldn't want to date someone I work with.
Right. Well, and Gail said it's good for about 2 months.
Well,
And then it's like, you do
what
your
is
thing
it?
and I'll do my thing.
What isn't only good for a couple of months and then it starts to suck?
I mean, well, there's pros and cons.
Can you sign me up? Yeah.
I mean, it's.
Will you drive tonight?
Would you prefer to be in a relationship with a fellow comic or be in a relationship with a non-comic who comes to all your shows and gigs?
Well, I don't know. It depends on
what the person's like, right?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. I think when a comic dates another comic, there's always weird energy. If one comic has a good set, the other doesn't.
Right.
If I can't tell you how many times the comics I've dated, you see all these horny other comics molesting them. It's like,
oh, Jesus.
Do you say anything? Do you just like...
Oh, man.
I saw that a lot.
Just like bad.
So are you still down with dating female comics, or are you just saying, I
mean, I'll date anyone if I like them.
Yeah.
I don't care. And
it's not a deal breaker.
Not really. I mean, if you like someone, you like someone. So
speaking of dating,
you can have your Are you dating anyone?
I'm not at the position to say.
Nice.
Well, I've seen some tags and some Facebook things, and look like maybe enjoying the company of someone nice is.
Well, I mean,
I saw something the other day, like where you at a movie or you were somewhere with someone or something like that. I don't know, you were at a restaurant or I don't know what you were doing. You were somewhere on Facebook with somebody, and I was going,
yeah,
that's kind of strange, Earl.
No, that's what I'm talking about. It's the same person.
Yeah, I forget who it was though, but I remember, and I forget where you were, but I was like, this is not usual, Earl. Just.
I mean, to quote Paul Stanley, and let's just say. My social life is kind of like a buffet, Everything's spread in front of me, but I don't eat all of it.
I love that.
So, well, you just...
Do you find yourself with favorite things you just kind of go into for a while, and then after a while you're like, you know what, I'm tired of eating,
I mean,
roast beef. I don't know.
I think I'm fairly popular in the LA scene.
Oh yeah, man! I was gonna say you could have your pick of the litter of the LA female comics, man. I can't imagine, any chick that wouldn't want to hook up with you. So it's.
Well, I mean, I think my reputation is solid. Not too many people say a bad word about me, so
it's all good.
Yeah, I hope there's no one in comedy who thinks of me as a creep. That would be, if that only came out of comedy, then I would be happy. Like if
but you never know. Rumors start.
There might be some people out there that think I'm a creep, but I know other guys who girls think are creepy or whatever like that, and.
You mean guy comics?
Yeah, guy comics, and I don't get that vibe. They're giving me that same vibe, but I go, I don't know. Maybe some of those younger, comedians.
Everywhere we go, girls talk to us. So I mean, whether it's the bartender or girls at the bar and stuff. I mean, we actually.
But you never. That's how rumors start, and.
Right, but I mean, we're actually cordial, and the people that work. When we used to go out and do rooms all the time, people would be pretty cordial to see us. The women.
Oh yeah, I mean, like Tracy from. Dave,
absolutely,
and that girl from Michael's Pub, but
do you remember? Do you remember
from the zoo?
What's her face? The comedian. She used to. We used to do comedy with her at Ireland's all the time.
Deb Cox?
No. She's.
Well, we did comedy.
She's a brunette chick with curly hair. She was from Northern California.
Leslie Collins.
Yeah. So she you remember, you know, she got married, right? And she moved to Northern California, and she had a kid. And then she was contacting me one time. She goes, I have some information about a website, you know, like how to get one set up. I'm trying to get a business going. And so I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, sure. I said, what kind of business do you do? She goes, well, I'm going to set up this service where I can show chicks how to get nerds. You know, I got a nerd to marry me, you know, and I was going, oh, wow. I didn't know that. God, I guess, you know, whatever angles there are.
There's a calling for that.
Yeah, I said that. I didn't even know there was a market for that. But so then I said, okay, cool. And I said, you might want to try these places, you know. And then the next thing I know, she sends me an email. She goes, hey, do you know if it's possible to, check somebody's email without them looking? I'm like, why? What's going on? You know, and she says, oh, well, I don't know, my boyfriend, my husband, I don't know if he's friendly with someone. I said, you know what? Don't do that. You know, just don't do that. And then the next thing I know, I see her on Facebook, and she's gone back. She's taken that name off of her Facebook.
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
So she's now just Leslie Collar again.
And she's in a relationship.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she had a new in the relationship.
Oh, I missed that one, man.
No, I think you caught it. You said, I thought you were married. That was your comment.
Oh, I hope I wasn't drinking that night.
Gotta be careful online.
But it was just strange. I just thought, wow, nerd guys, you know. But there was really one funny part of that was because she used to have this joke. And she used to have this joke where she was talking about somebody, and she would say, and you were out there with that 40-year-old divorcee named so-and-so. And then the funny part was I was going, you know what? She became that 40-year-old divorcee that she used to always talk about in her joke.
Well, she was funny, you know.
Yeah, she was.
You know, that's another casualty of, talent coordinators and people just kind of not giving the right people a shot.
I thought if she would have stuck with it, she would have been really, really good, man, because she was funny.
Yeah, she had like a Sarah Silverman type, you know, FU attitude, and
right.
She had nice
she was
tits.
really funny.
But she was so miserable, though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You know, I don't think anyone like other than us being around her,
Right.
because we thrived on her negativity.
I felt bad for her because she was married and she sent the thing that she was concerned, and then I went and looked at the Facebook page of her, husband at the time. He had no mention of being married, no mention of her, nothing on his page about their kid. I was like, oh, this is a bad sign.
Oh, no.
I mean,
This is a one-way.
Yeah, one-way ticket to the devil's, playground.
Do you use Facebook, Earl, to keep in contact with your family and stuff?
Not my brother just got on Facebook. I don't think he gets the hang of it, but I have two sisters, two brothers. One sister's on it fairly regularly, and then my other sister's not on it, but she yelled at me once because my three nieces follow me on Facebook, and I posted like some, I don't know, 2 girls in 1 cup video, and she calls me and goes, "Earl, what the fuck are you doing? My nieces are asking me what 2 girls in 1 cup is." So I had to block my own nieces from.
Oh yeah, that's a scary thing.
Do you don't have any relatives that'll just start putting up, post this about God if you agree, or not religious or real right wing stuff or nothing like that?
Not really. I mean, I delete that shit
pretty
instantly.
quick.
I'm trying to promote my podcast
right.
on Facebook. I don't want to have some Ebola scam.
Isn't that funny you mentioned a scam? My hometown, more people get hacked. Their Facebook gets hacked from my hometown. I'll get a friend request from somebody from my hometown. I'm always like, I thought we were friends already. Did I delete her? What happened? And so, I'll say, well, there's 28 common friends or whatever. Then okay, I'll add her. And then they say hello, and you say hi, and they ask you how you're doing. I'm fine, just busy. And then it's always like this. Are you excited about the money you're winning? And then it's like, oh fuck,
it's a scam.
It's somebody's hacked into my thing.
I just saw one the other day, it said people you may know, and it was Justine Marino. And then I said, I thought I was already friends with that chick. I just hit her, And then I didn't add her. And then I said, well, she dropped me, fuck her, man. I'm not gonna add it again. Who gives a shit? And then I was looking through my friends and looking for somebody, and she was already there. And then the weird part was the next day I saw another ad, and it was her picture, but with another name.
Yeah, she needs to change her password.
I was gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna tell her, and I said, oh fuck it, man.
It's effed up. I get it all the time from people from my hometown. Hi Cole, how are you doing down there? How's everything going down there? And, and I'm gullible enough to like, oh shit, somebody cares. Shit. Oh, it's going good. Hey, are you excited about the sweepstakes? Oh fuck.
Do you ever get hacked, Earl?
I mean, I got that same friend request from Justine Marino. I thought we were already friends. I added her because I knew. I got the fucking things in the other folder. A lot of people don't look on Facebook, but you have the inbox, and then right by that is the other. Which is basically
right. That's where all the spam stuff goes.
And so, but every now and then
I've never even seen that.
Yeah, you'll get a message there that's legitimate. Like maybe someone you're not friends with. When they send a message, it goes in the other folder instantly.
Right. That's when you go to your messages.
So
right?
I get the hey doll, I saw your picture, wanted to show you mine. Contact me at www.htzbzbb.ca. I'm like, that sounds like a legitimate website. Just 25 random letters in a .ca.
Oh, that's so funny.
My Twitter gets hacked a lot.
Oh, no way. What happens? Like,
they send out a thing, they get your password somehow, and then, hey, is this you in this picture? And it'll send a link, and then everyone if you click on the link, it just, invades your end. But nothing too bad happens.
Oh, wow.
So, a lot of schemes and scams out there in the Twitter world.
Man, you're great on Twitter. You're one of the few people that I actually like to read their stuff on Twitter. And anytime I can, usually what happens is the only time I go to Twitter is when I go and say we're about to do a show, and I'll refresh and I'll see your stuff on there, and I just fucking laugh, man. When you just sit and watch TV and talk about Twitter about what you're seeing on TV or something, they're really funny.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, I do a thing called Attention LA Comics.
Oh yeah.
Because it's and I guess it's too inside, to get a massive following. But it's just honest evaluations about the world of stand-up comedy.
Oh, they know it's you?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I just I do
it a hashtag or something.
Yeah. So.
Are you doing clout?
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, you don't know what clout is?
What's clout?
Oh, dude, you got to get that tonight. Cloud is like a service that you get, and it hooks up to your Twitter and your Facebook. And what it does is it kind of measures how, when you post something, if people get engaged, who engages with you, and based on how many people you engage by what you do on Twitter or Facebook, you get a score. And a lot of people are looking for people that have a lot of entertainment companies and everything like that. They're interested in a person's clout score, because if they have a clout score, that means that they're able to influence people.
Right. It's super user friendly. It doesn't spam you at all. It sends you a message once in a while that says your clout score has gone up. But that's even very rare.
I thought you knew about that for sure. But yeah, that's
KLOUT.
You'll really believe.
Can you hook a brother up?
Yeah, just go to KLOUT.
Can you just do it for me? Come on.
Yeah, open up the computer. Hold on, let me get the servant to open up the computer.
I got a black eye hidden.
Leroy, can you fire?
Virgil.
He's been with you a long time.
Leroy or Virgil?
Virgil.
Well, actually, on August 26th, right now the hottest show at the Comedy Store is this Tuesday night show called Roast Battle.
Right.
And it's basically two comics roasting each other. It's 3 rounds. Jeff Ross is the main judge, and then you have celebrity judges.
Wow.
Last night Sarah Silverman was there.
Uh-huh.
And TV comics, and me and this girl play the house racist. Where we're just saying some god-awful things, but it gets a laugh every time.
Right.
August 26th, I'm doing it.
That's right.
Against Dolph Ziggler, very famous WWE wrestler. and that's where we're gonna get down.
August 26th.
August 26th. So it'll be interesting to.
How good are his mic
It's like
skills?
a Tuesday night.
He's great in the ring, but it's a different set of skills. To roast someone,
Right.
than have a prepared script.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
So it's going to be pretty fun.
But I think if a guy has good skills, they should be able to get on the microphone and be able to kind of improvise and kind of have an idea and roll with it and be able to get the crowd going and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like that.
And it's a crazy crowd. It's in the Belly Room, which
Uh-huh.
I know you guys have performed in. It's packed. It's like an ECW wrestling show. They want blood. They want, just,
Whoa.
mean spirit.
What time do they start it?
The main thing starts at like 12:15. It's real short. It lasts about 15 minutes, and the judges, give you feedback in between rounds.
Uh-huh.
And,
We might have to drop down. For
it's
that.
crazy, and
I want to go to the one where you're on that, where you're roasting someone.
Let's just say I've got some things in store for Mr. Ziegler.
Oh, really? You've been
He's
doing a little
in
research?
my world.
Do you guys
doing
know
your
each other?
homework?
I've met him a few times. He's a big comedy guy.
Oh, okay.
So whenever I think he lives here, whenever the wrestling's in town or they have an off week, he's at the Comedy Store, and he's really nice.
Uh-huh.
But you know what? Come August 26th, I don't give a shit. He's going down.
Nice,
no
nice,
more
nice,
Mr.
nice.
Nice Guy.
So that's. But getting back to clout, I've
Yes.
also been told to get this podcast on Stitcher.
What is that?
Stitcher.
I don't
It's
know.
like some podcasting hosting site, I guess. I mean, I'm on right now, and I think you guys are on the
SoundCloud?
same, SoundCloud and iTunes.
Right.
And that's my dryer going off
Oh, okay.
upstairs.
Oh, nice.
So, there you go. That's, the beeper. The clothes are ready to wear and style and profile. And
Get the maid. Did you tell the maid?
I got a couple.
Florence.
Virgil, fold that.
Flojo.
Flojo, get the clothes.
I mean, it's
How often does Flojo come?
when I put it in her. She comes every time.
There you go.
So, that's
Yeah, I want to come and I want to see it, man, because I think it would be.
That's like a Tuesday night. I think.
It's late, but I mean it's this show eventually will get on TV. I mean it's
Really?
I mean
It's that.
when you have Sarah Silverman coming in to watch it, that shows you it's
Right.
she's pretty busy. She's not going to waste her time at midnight to watch them. But it's a crazy energy.
Isn't there a show now? There's a place, isn't something called like Meltdown or something like that?
Yeah, there's Meltdown has a lot of good shows. They have a lot of like the alternative comics.
Yeah, I think they have a show now on Comedy Central now.
Yeah, and it's called Nerdist.
Yeah, or
That's like kind of like the people like I'm not really familiar with the hot nerd comics, but say
Right.
someone like Janine Garofalo.
Ron Swallow.
Anyway, Janine Garofalo, Todd Barry, basically anyone who hasn't played at the Liquid Zoo. Which actually Gail started that room.
Yeah.
Still going.
That's been going. How long has that place been going? What year did she
At
start
least-
that place?
Well,
at
I
least 10
mean,
years.
she'd probably be better to answer this than me, but I think she started around 2006.
Wow.
And then, I came in because our friend had spit on a female comic and swung on her. And I'm like, wow, I got to check this room out.
Wait, who did that?
Well, I'll tell you, I don't want to, we don't have to name names.
Does he have really big balls?
Who?
Does he have really big balls?
No.
Oh, okay. Because he's the one that told me about Liquid Zoo.
Well, that's just funny how, like, you find out about a room. I mean, I just remember one night, all these people buzzing in the LA comedy community. Hey, so-and-so spit on this girl and threw a punch at her. I'm like, where was this at? In the Liquid Zoo. I went down the next week. Like, I got to do this room. Because you know me, dude. I love being around the stink.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's actually where I met Gail. I didn't even know her
Right.
at the time. So.
That you know what? That's what's
I remember.
that was my Wednesday night room that I jumped to after they stopped doing the whiskey bin.
I
we
think
all
everyone
did.
did.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
all did.
And
I used to
Then we'd have
love
to drive
doing
back
comedy
to
there,
go to have
man.
breakfast. We go over there. They
we'd go to
back.
IHOP. That's,
Or we'd go to Sitton sometimes too in North Hollywood.
yeah. I miss those days.
I used to
Yeah,
I
I
used
know.
to love the Whiskey Bin, man. I was very sad when they stopped doing comedy there. That was a place that was kind of fun to perform.
You know where I did a set the other day was at the Cock and Bull
I've heard it's back
on Sunday.
Sunday nights.
You show up, you go up.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, that's what they say.
I like that. It's like my new philosophy with girls: put out or get out.
Yeah, put that on the door.
Yeah, it is. It's right above my bedroom. So.
I was gonna say you should put that on your front door, but then you might have to put girls.
Yeah.
You know,
In my neighborhood, exit only.
Man, I every time I come over here, I'm so fascinated because I'm curious because like when we were waiting for you to open the gate, we see this really hot chick walking by and stuff, and we're like, what percentage of hot chicks live in this complex, or is it all guys?
I mean, I think there used to be 2 really hot Russian prostitutes there.
Oh no way!
Blonde, big cans, and
Vedbego.
They're not streetwalkers though, like call girls. You're right.
they're all cunts. What's it matter?
Right.
I mean, no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, and they had to leave.
Who knows? I mean, they left under mysterious circumstances.
Oh no, just disappeared in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Oh,
How many years have you been here?
I've been here since a little bit after 9/11, so
Holy shit!
it's a good time to buy when buildings were dropping. I mean,
No shit.
literally. I bet you can get a killer deal on a condo around
So
World
like
Trade Center.
13 years here.
13 years here. I'm ready to move, but
Where did you live before this place, Earl?
I lived right by the Beverly Center, which is literally right across the street from it. Only condo, 3rd and San Vicente.
Right.
Hey, breaking news! Breaking news! You said you want to move somewhere else?
Yeah, but I want a house and for the dog and maybe get another dog, but you can't. I still want to live in a nice neighborhood.
Right.
so-
Right.
Have you ever thought about buying like the next time it goes low or something like that?
I mean, I might. You never. Probably my biggest regret was around '99. There was this really nice house where I was living in that area, west. I guess it's not Beverly Hills, but right on the outskirts.
Right.
For $575, it was like, Jesus Christ, that's too
Oh
much money.
man.
And that house now is easily over $1 million.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I never say never, but I like this neighborhood actually. It's central to comedy.
Right.
Would you consider going to the Valley or no?
I would, but
Studio City, maybe.
Studio City, maybe
Sherman
I could
Oaks.
shack up with Stephen Piercy and get him on my goddamn podcast. I mean,
So all the guys in Rad are doing well. Like
no, Robin Crosby's not.
Well, yeah.
He's seen better days.
Oh, but the guys that are still alive, because I always have this horrible image of the 80s rock star. I'm afraid that they got screwed around their money or they screwed it up, whatever, and they're working like at Kinko's or something like that. I hate that thought, So I always like to hear like when they're doing well.
Well, I mean, it really all depends on what you mean by well. I mean, I know Piercy makes a decent living, with his solo band.
Right.
He probably actually this shows you the craziness of the music business. And, like, he founded Rat when they were Mickey Rat.
Right.
Came up here, became Rat. I think there was a Disney character by the name of Mickey Rat or something. So he just cut it down to Rat. And so it's his band.
Right.
But through some weird, complicated process, when he left the band in the late 90s, he lost the name and rights of the band.
Oh.
And that's really the big bone of contention with him is like, I founded this band, but
Right.
yet I'm basically a hired gun.
Oh
I'm my
wow.
own band. The guitar player and drummer own the everything, so that's why
Oh wow.
they hate each other. So the drummer. He's got a big problem with the drummer, Bobby Blotzer.
That's what's her name's old boyfriend?
Well, yeah, the
Yeah.
great Ashley Clark.
Ashley Clark.
And, by the way, John Clark is hosting the Oyster House tonight if you guys want
Oh,
to do
really?
the
No
stage
way.
show. Yeah, he said he'd put you guys right up.
Oh, Let's do it.
People on the podcast are like, what the fuck are they talking
I
about?
want to see if those ladies are still alive. You know.
So-
Oh, they are.
Well, who knows what's alive at the Oyster House. But, you know,
At least one of them is
I
alive.
think
I
the
don't know
oysters have even left that place.
But
You know,
Wow.
they lock the salad bar up with a chain and padlock every
Yeah,
night.
well, I mean, I know that, you know, if you look at the guys in the back cooking, that
they'll steal everything.
are there any 80s rockers you know that are like having to work a 9 to 5 now or anything?
well, the drummer from Rat at one point was working at a carpet installing place. Maybe when he was dating Ashley.
No wonder if he drank a lot.
And then there was that great VH1, like a Where Are They Now type thing on the 80s guys, and they had like the guitar player from Kix, K-I-X. They had a couple hits. His job was whiting out billboards around the city. You know, like if a big movie,
Oh no!
you know, it's time to put the next thing up, you have to white it out or whatever. And he was like, hey man, someone's got to do it.
So the poor guy's over there finishing a job, and they're like, "Excuse me, are you the guy that used to be at Kicks?"
Yeah.
Or that's, that's so wrong, man.
Didn't you write Tear Down the Walls? Well, you know, those guys never thought the era would end, you know.
Right.
I mean, no one saw Nirvana and, you know, coming, and Alice in Chains and Pearl Jam and Soundgarden and all those bands. I mean,
Right.
you just thought the fucking era was never going to end. And like Bobby Brown, you know, no one really saw it coming. I mean, she was really in the last great hair video, you know, Cherry Pie. And that, some people would say, is that video was everything that's good and bad about that era.
Right.
Because then I think like less than a year later, you had Nirvana's Smells Like Teenage Spirit come out, that video where they're just rabid, angry youth. And then you go to the Cherry Pie video where the drummer's hitting cherry pies. So
What does this lady do now?
she's on a show called Ex-Wives of Rock, and it's a pretty good show. It follows her, Charisse Neal, who was married to Vince Veal.
Right.
And
He has a young son that's a rocker, right? Is that the one?
I'm not sure. I know he had a daughter, unfortunately, Skylar, who passed away of cancer.
Ugh.
Awful, just sad story, you know, tumor, and just, you know, you actually for once felt sorry for Vince Neal because it was like it humanized him.
Right.
That's what you get for putting on that shitty show at Rocklahoma, you asshole.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, I mean that. For those of you who don't know, right after I, you know, broke up with a lady friend, me and Chris decided to take a sabbatical in 2007 to Pryor, Oklahoma, to see
Oklahoma.
basically 80s metal version of Woodstock, and it was great. You know, Twisted Sister, Rat, Y&T, Vince Veal,
Poison.
all these great bands, and Vince
Jackal.
Neal, like, fucking couldn't even finish the first song before he goes behind the drum kit for some Booger Sugar, and then the rest of his band just starts jamming.
You're just like, what the
man.
fuck's going on here, man? It's just like,
It's like I didn't come to Pryor, Oklahoma for 4 days to sweat my ass off to, you know, hear your, you know, 3, you know, Mexican dudes you picked up in the valley.
Why Pryor, Oklahoma? That's why I never did understand that.
Horrible planning. I mean,
Is
in the middle of the
is it at an
summer.
airport?
I have no idea. You had to go to
But the-
Tulsa.
Yeah, and then drive over.
Probably that was the only place they could get it, that they could do it at whatever price. They figured,
Right.
if we do it here, we probably have enough people. Probably because it's kind of in the middle, so they can get people
Right.
from the East Coast and the West Coast or whatever like that.
but I mean, in the middle of the summer, Oklahoma was just a sweat box.
Yeah, we gotta be happy. We gotta be glad we didn't get hit by a goddamn tornado over there.
Well, I think the second or third one, they did get hit by a tornado.
Oh, they had a
People
second.
died.
They had a second and third show.
Oh, I think I don't know if they still have it anymore because, you know, I think me and Chris knew what time it was.
Yeah, we got in. We got in at the perfect time because every year after that, it continually got worse and worse and worse and worse. You know, so
shit.
we got in at the perfect time. You know, so. But now they have They have one called like a rock and roll. Have you ever called a rock and roll cruise or something?
Yeah,
like?
yeah, rock. Well, they have something in Texas. I think it's Rock on the Rise or something like that.
I wouldn't mind going to another one of those things.
Well, I saw the pictures of the boat cruise because my buddy Stevie Rochelle, who runs the website Metal Sludge,
Right.
which Stevie provides the music to Inappropriate Earl.
Thanks, Stevie.
Thank you, Stevie. Stevie, good friends with Shelley.
Nice.
Shelley used to book Stevie in Tough.
Hey, Tuff, can I come back on Metal Sledge? I think it was Tool Hater. No,
Yeah, Stevie. This is kind of a groundbreaking interview right now. Stevie, if you're listening, I know you are, because you're a good friend of the show and supporter. Chris was at one point one of the premier posters on your gossip board on Metal Sludge until you banned him for just causing a general ruckus. But
it was pretty fast too. Usually when I would get thrown out of those places, I'd have to annoy them for a while before they threw me out. But this one came pretty swift, man. I was just barely getting started, and then next thing,
getting going, and
yeah,
that's it.
Oh shit! Fuck! They threw me out of here. Oh fuck, man.
Well, I mean, I don't think too many people want to. The great thing about Metal Sludge is it covers an era of music. For the most part, people don't really
follow.
Other than the hardcore fans.
Right.
I mean, you can go on Metal Sludge tomorrow and get a breakdown of what the singer from Britney Fox is up to.
Yeah, my favorite part of that is like some chick. She writes this list of all the dudes she's fucked, and she's like, yeah, this guy, real selfish lover, one pump chump, or something like that. Next guy, very passionate, but a lot of pubic hair, or something.
The penis board.
Yeah, they just kind of tell you about all the guys that they've boned and stuff.
A lot of pubic hair.
Yeah,
well, the best was, I think it was, I forget which guy in Quiet Riot, so and so Quiet Riot. Pretty average lovemaking, and let me tell you about the size of his dick. There's no riot going on in his pants.
Was that Kevin Dubrow?
I think it was. It might have been the guitar player who's now in Rat, which is kind of funny. I mean, now it's Quiet Rat, basically. So
that reminds me, though. I just got a message the other day that said that Quiet Riot is doing a show at Riverside. I thought for a while I had to check to make sure that they weren't playing at Romano's.
They might be,
but it wasn't. It wasn't Romano's.
Somebody was just watching. Somebody just checked in at Facebook with the Quiet. They were at the Quiet Riot show.
Probably Eddie Jarvis.
Selling.
It was tonight?
No, it was a couple of days ago.
Oh crap!
Yeah.
Eddie Jarvis selling roids in the parking lot.
He's out now, right?
I don't want to get sued. So
all right.
But let me ask you something. If Kevin Dubrow is dead, who's singing for Quiet Riot now?
Well, this is the great thing about these '80s metal bands. They're just interchangeable. They're like Legos, man. You take one guy and put him in that band. This guy's in that band. The singer in Quiet Riot now is a guy by the name of Jizzy Pearl, who used to sing in Love Hate, L.A. Guns, and took over for Stephen Pearcy and Rat for a couple of years.
Oh, quite a resume, man.
Jizzy Pearl.
Yeah, Jizzy Pearl. I have a feeling that's not his real name.
Yeah, that's probably not his
you know what? Those guys, they move around so much in 80s metal that they should get profiles on LinkedIn. Just saying I'm looking for, drummer, like that.
Yeah.
They could just find people a lot quicker like that and stuff.
Well, but it was even worse in the '80s. I mean, like when they were all unknown, you just like when Rat first started getting big in L.A. Who was the they stole the drummer and the bass player from Dokken. Jake E. Lee, who was the original guitar player in Rat, he goes to Ozzy. The bass player in Ozzy's band goes to Whitesnake. I mean, they
right.
They
just move around the pieces.
Brad Gillis goes from
Night
Ranger. He was in Ozzy's band. He was the first. Well, he was actually the second guitar player after Randy Rhoads died.
He was in Ozzy's band, the long-haired guy?
Oh, yeah, it's great. Well, Randy Rhoads died in a plane crash,
right.
And Sharon Osbourne didn't want Ozzy sitting at home, so she just said, we're going to tour. So they got some guy, I might mispronounce his name. I think his name was Bernie, either Torme or Tope. He was
Madoff?
Hippie, yeah, Bernie Madoff. He got into a guitar scam, and he was like the first guy Ozzy took on the road with him after Randy Rhoads died, but he was like some hippie fucking beatnik dude, a great guitar player, but he just didn't look right up there, so they bring in Brad Gillis.
Ah.
on like a week's notice. He was told basically, here are the songs. Learn all these Black Sabbath songs. Learn these, Ozzy solo songs. So it's pretty impressive that in like basically a week's time, he was forced to emulate two guitar gods and Tony Iommi and Randy Rhoads. Not the easiest guys. It's not like you're just playing Kiss 3-chord songs,
Right.
And it's pretty funny. There's I think it's called "Speak of the Devil." Ozzy concert where it's Brad Gillis on guitar, and you could see people flipping him off.
Oh, wow.
Because he wasn't Randy Rhoads.
Oh, those
that's
assholes.
And he was killing it. I mean, especially given the fact it was
they're just knuckleheads.
a week's time. It's like, what do you want? You want to like do a
expect?
weekend at Bernie's with Randy Rhoads?
People are such assholes at concerts, man. Like, we went to this concert. We went to go see the Cult over here at the House of Blues, and this group came out, and I'd never heard of them before. And these people were like, "You suck! Bring out the next band!" And then eventually, this group, I forget what their names were. They just decided they were just gonna just agitate the crowd for their whole set. That's all they were gonna do. And so they were just like playing guitar, just. And the guy, he would just scream into the microphone, and people started throwing fucking beer bottles cups of beer at him, hitting him in the face and everything like that. And he was just like, "Come on," it just kept on like, and it was really weird. But people are such assholes at concerts, man.
Well, it's or fans of particular bands in general, like Shelley's friend, and I guess I would say my friend too is the drummer in Kiss now,
Right?
The great Eric Singer,
Right.
Or for those of you who really know him, Eric Minsinger.
Did you get to see them when they were down here recently?
I just didn't have the energy. You've seen one Kiss concert, you've seen them all.
You know what? I wanted to go see them one time, and then I asked you if you wanted to go see them, and then you said, I'm not going to go see them. And then I talked to you later, and you said, yeah, I went to go see them. So I want to go see them before they die.
Well, I mean,
I have time then, right?
Oh, they're never going to stop. I mean, there's going to be 4 black guys in Kiss one day. I mean, Gene will still make the money. I mean,
listen, you mentioned Tony Iommi, man. Speaking of dying, I saw him perform twice last year. Once at the Hot Sports Arena and once at Hollywood Bowl. He doesn't look like he's going to be around for much longer, man.
Well, he's got to go back and forth to the UK for cancer treatments.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't. But man, it's like, I'm like, how does this guy do it, man? They've got all these giant lights on there, and he's got a black leather jacket, black leather stuff all the way up to his neck. I was like, how is he not burning up?
Well, I don't think he has any sensation left anymore.
That might be the case, but goddamn, he's a good guitar player.
Oh, he's great.
Have you seen the documentary Sound City?
I've heard of it.
There's a lot of Rat in it. The guys from Rat are in it a lot.
Well, I mean, Rat was...
and they're talking about that period of time in the 80s, how it was just exploding.
Oh, it was like... unlike an era you'll ever see, and it's so hard to tell people who weren't in LA. It's like
that's right when I moved down here in '85.
So
with my brother and our band, we moved down here.
I mean, it was just like.
Did you ever consider joining a band?
I mean, I never had any musical talent, but that didn't stop a lot of.
Leather Wolf was on the telephone poles when I moved. Shark Island was on the telephone poles when I moved down here at the country club in Reseda.
Oh, I'm obsessed with Shark Island because the singer Richard Black is like. A lot of people don't know this, but Axl Rose, I guess you'd say, stole a lot of his moves. And like, if you ever see the Shark Island, I think they might have had 1 or 2 videos, but where you can really.
Did they have like one kind of semi-hit?
Well, they had one.
They got a little airplay.
Relatively big video called "Bad for Each Other," if you watch the YouTube, I guess you find it on YouTube. You can totally see Axl Rose movements, but Richard Black doing them.
Why doesn't the rest of Guns N' Roses? Why doesn't Slash hire him and go out on the road with him and do Guns N' Roses?
Well, Slash, who me and Shelley's friend, the great Brent Fitz, is the drummer for Slash. I was the best man at his wedding.
Oh wow!
Which shows you how few people he knew in this town. Because he was in a band called Union with Bruce Kulick from Kiss, and
Right.
John Corabi from Motley Crue, and the great Jamie, the Mad Hunter on bass, and there used to be this one Kiss website called Kiss Asylum.
Right.
And I would literally go on it every day. It was just it was like Metal Sludge, but for Kiss only, and so they advertised a lot of Union stuff.
Right.
So one day I'm at a King game at the Forum, and at the Forum Club, which was a place I'd go to cruise for some gash.
Right.
I saw the drummer walking around, and I walk up to him and I go, "Jesus Christ, you're the drummer from Union." And he looked at me like I was from fucking Mars or something. And so we actually became good friends, and like a month later it's like, "Hey man, will you be the best man at my wedding?" He knew nobody else here, so.
Oh man.
Oh, that's so funny.
And the marriage lasted about a year. So
but you have a pretty good collection of 80s rock musician friends.
well, I mean, I would say acquaintances. I mean, I'm friends with Brent, and Piercy's actually a really nice guy. It's just, I mean, it took forever to get Bobby Brown here.
Right.
And Tawny Katane was the same thing. I mean, but she was really sweet. Tawny came from like Huntington Beach or she lives really deep into the OC.
Wow.
So,
Is she doing okay?
yeah, she looks great.
Have you done any follow up with her?
I'd like to.
So you know what? We need to do a
Yeah, I thought that
pre-interview.
was
Let's
the
just meet
hookup.
at Newport Beach at
Yeah.
the Four Seasons. over
Drag
there.
that box over there and don't even take it out of the trunk.
Yeah. Wow. But here's the weird thing about that. The reason why, the whole thing that wanted me to get her on the podcast is one day I had to get a new radiator. And so I went to this place on Melrose. The guy's like, "Hey, man, it'll be about 7 hours." So I'm like, all right. So I start walking home just to kill 2 hours right there. And I just hit shuffle on my iPod. And the Rat song Back for More starts.
Right.
And I swear to God, as soon as it started, I looked up, and in front of me was the restaurant where the Back for More video was filmed.
Nice.
Like, it was just, like, oh my God, that's Gardell's. That's like in the video. I go home, I turn on the TV, a Whitesnake video is on TV with Tawny Katane doing the splits on the Jaguar. I turn the channel, and O.J. Simpson's being interviewed, and she, had an affiliation with him. Turn the channel again, and there's some documentary on the California Angels, and they show Chuck Finley pitching.
Oh, she scared the hell out of him.
Yeah, she beat him up in a car, and so I was like, "This is a sign from God that
I gotta
need
get
to
her on."
Tawny Katane on the podcast."
He said he'd rather I did this one last time. He said he'd rather face Don Baylor.
Yeah, Don Baylor, number 25.
Than
man.
Tawny Katane.
Well, she was great. She talked about everything but
She's
OJ.
beautiful.
So,
Were you planning on asking her if she did anal with OJ?
Well, I'm assuming she did. I mean, if you can do the splits on a Jaguar, you can take it in the ass from OJ.
On the Jaguar, like the car Jaguar?
Yeah, the Whitesnake video.
Yeah, and,
Okay.
and she had great stories. I mean, she should do a book like Bobby did. I mean, she told a story on the podcast that her first date with David Coverdale from Whitesnake, his car broke down right down the street from here on Santa Monica and La Cienega. So.
Nice.
Oh wow, was he driving a junker or something?
No,
like
he was like driving an older Jaguar, the Jaguar from the video.
Oh, from the video? Oh wow.
And just broke down. And you think, how is David Coverdale broke and driving a broke down car? But that shows you the music business.
Yeah.
Here's a guy who's in Deep Purple. Whitesnake had been around for a bit. And,
Yeah, David Coverdale was around for a long time.
When the car broke down, did he say, "Here I go
Is he
again"?
even
on
still
my own?
alive?
Here I go. Oh yeah, they're still alive touring. So,
They might be on that rock and roll
Whitesnake is
cruise,
still
man.
touring?
but it's not really Whites. I mean, it's like David Coverdale and 7 dudes.
Oh, okay.
Which happens with a lot of these 80s bands. It's a big scam. They'll say, like I remember once I was doing comedy in like Winnemucca, Nevada, real dump. And in the comedy club lobby, it said Jefferson Starship. And you're like, oh my God, they're playing here. And then in the smallest of letters, with Mickey Thomas. But so it was really basically Mickey Thomas
Right.
and 7 black dudes. So, there's all kinds of scams out there.
Right.
Even Stephen Piercy will, in some of the advertisements for him, it'll say in really small letters, Stephen Piercy, the voice of, and then in huge mammoth letters, rat.
Oh, wow.
That's hard.
So, there's all kinds of schemes.
Oh, that's so funny.
Vinnie Vincent did it when he'd do autograph conventions, smallest letters, like literally like, an inch of an inch. Vinnie Vincent of, and then Kiss in these mammoth letters. Oh, Kiss is here. So.
How many 80s like little fan like that like conventions have you gone to?
Not many. I mean, I went to the first Kiss convention in Burbank.
The very first one.
Yeah. Which ironically, Shelley, my ex-girlfriend, she was managing that convention, but I never met her that day.
Oh, wow.
So, I actually met her at a Union concert at a strip club in Pasadena.
Oh, wow.
I don't go to too many of those because you just feel like such a loser in those.
Hey,
things.
wait a minute. Was that where you were at the other night? A strip club?
Oh, I haven't been to a strip club in years.
Oh, okay. So you remember I told you that when you said you were with someone the other night somewhere, and I wondered, were you at a strip club with a girl? But no, okay. Let's just.
No. Let me see.
I think you might have just been eating with her or something like that. But still, I thought that was.
Yeah. I mean,
That's.
I like to check in and mind.
If you're a girl and you get taken out to eat by Earl, you should be really happy. That's a good sign.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because let me tell you something. You might think that there's other guys out there better for you. Girls in my past, girls in the future, and girls in the present.
Raising Ramon, man.
I might be the oldest guy in the park, but I got the longest line. So you remember that, girls.
I gotta remember that.
That should be your monologue, dude. You should do that as a monologue the next time. The next time you're doing you're doing an acting audition. Yeah.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Is you said you had an audition. What type of roles has Big Earl been auditioning for?
Well, I do a lot of commercial auditions, and it's great. Like, sometimes when they're just do improv, I'll just do a wrestling character.
Yes.
But they don't know that's what I'm doing. Like, there was one time I had to, and it sucks when you audition and you see the commercial on TV. You're like, fuck, man.
Yeah, no, that hurts.
I had to. I got the closest I've ever gotten recently was those John Stamos yogurt commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was the second choice, and it was a great commercial. It played a lot.
Oh yeah.
Basically, the commercial was this really hot girl on an airplane sitting in the window seat, middle seat's open, and then I'm on the aisle seat,
Right.
and then John Stamos sits in the middle.
Ah.
You're just supposed to play like a creepy character.
Right.
And obviously, there's basically the whole point of the commercial is you are the opposite of John Stamos.
Oh, I see.
It really sucks because it's basically saying you're an ugly clod.
What are they giving you that role for, man? And come on, you're a good-looking guy, man.
Listen, on television, even the ugly guys are good looking.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
the
but
deal.
I mean, I got to act with John Stamos in the audition, and I just literally I don't think he knew I was doing Rick Rude.
Right.
So it's great, I don't book a lot of commercials, but I audition well, but it's for commercials, it's very much a visual.
Yeah, it's hard that you called, but you getting some callbacks?
Great. I had a call back the other day for an ESPN commercial that I didn't get, but it'll be played a lot, so it'll be a bummer when I see it.
That's all right, because you're getting in front of the casting people.
Oh
They'll
yeah, I
remember-
mean,
they'll
like I
remember you.
said, I don't. I think I do a good job auditioning, but
Right.
I always get last. But sometimes it's not about that,
Right.
So just. I mean, the good thing is with commercials, it doesn't really matter if you're a good actor or not. They just want a visual.
Yeah,
person,
just the look.
You know.
Ah, nice.
So, I mean, I'm sure for like movies and stuff. I auditioned once for Sons of Anarchy to be a white supremacist.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh man, that would have been a good role.
I mean, I've told this story before, but I think I told this to you guys the last time. But seeing that
It didn't get recorded.
episode, well, it did get recorded actually. And it sounded great. I think one of the, I think it's like episode number 27 is the 4-minute clip of,
Of us.
Us getting started.
and it was great. I mean, it sounded great.
Right.
I think I tell the Peter Prince story.
Oh, yeah.
And then it just cut.
We've told that one too.
So, but I auditioned and for like white supremacist number 8, and it was just scary that they found 7 guys more racist than me. That had to take
Did you have a line?
Oh yeah, well, first I had to. I walk in the room. It's just Kurt Sutter, the creator
How
of the
comfortable
show.
are you saying the N word?
And he's a very He's like, oh, listen, man, and he's a very intimidating guy. Like there's no bullshit with him.
Right.
And he's like, listen, man, we don't want to waste your time, and we certainly don't want to waste ours. We got to ask you a couple questions because everyone's leaving, and
Right.
would you shave your head? I'm like, yeah, I'm 45. It's not balding now.
Right.
It'll grow back. All right, would you get tattoos? I'm like, yeah. I mean, they're not permanent, are they? I'm like, no, they're henna tattoos. They'll take about 6 hours to put on. They'll say some pretty racially insensitive things, and they'll last about 3 weeks. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I'll just wear long sleeve t-shirts. I mean, all right, that's good. Well, here's the question. We've lost a lot of actors. Are you comfortable saying the N-word on camera? And I looked at him and said, and get paid? I didn't hear back.
Oh man.
And the line was, I'm not selling guns to the Mayans and the...
Yeah.
Ah.
So I won't say that word, but I'll replace it with something slightly less offensive and say Armenians.
Right.
So, all right,
Canadians.
and action. Hey, man, I'm not selling guns to the Mayakans and the Armenians. Like, no, Earl, it's Mayans. I'm like, I know. I just want to say that word over and over again. Give me another 85 takes and I'll nail it.
Yeah.
Take 2. Hey, man, I'm not selling guns to the Mentos and the Earl, you're getting the second part down great. It's just that first word. So,
Oh, that's funny.
Wow, man. So,
I mean, do you guys audition?
no, I've never auditioned for anything. Cole has. He's done stuff.
I've done quite a few commercial auditions.
I mean,
I've gotten a couple callbacks. I came down to me and one other guy it was like a takeoff of the Beautiful Mind thing for like KFC chicken or Jack in the Box, where he's doing all the calculating or whatever on the window, like the movie.
You were
But
going to
it's
do a
for fast
commercial with
food.
Jack?
I don't know. It was a fast food thing, but he was like figuring out all the stuff, like when that Beautiful Mind movie was out with what's his name,
Right.
Russell Crowe. So I was playing like a professor type that was figuring out stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you have a great look for that.
Yeah, I get sent out for like that shit a lot. Professor, doctor.
I could see Chris in like an El Pollo Loco commercial.
Dude.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, no, I'm serious.
Stock has exploded since IPO a couple of days ago, man. Whoever knew, El
even
Pollo
cleaning the salad bar.
Loco had an IPO like last week, and the first day it like jumped like 50%, and then you're like, okay, it'll be cool, and then the next thing you know, 32, it does 32% the next day. So in almost 2 days, the stock nearly doubled. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
And I was like, really? People give a shit about that chicken? They like that stuff? It's like, wow, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, I know that.
Are you trying to charge your phone, Cole?
Yeah, I can do it later.
I don't think I have
The
a
old
I get
school
on the
one?
way home.
old school.
Yeah, it's old school.
I bet.
You're a Samsung. You have a Samsung phone now,
I
right?
have a notebook that's like the size of a laptop. So
Do you like it?
I do. It's huge and it's awkward to put in your pocket. But I like a big screen because my vision's not the best. So, maybe I'll get an audition for a Samsung.
With the big, they're about to have, Apple's about to have a big phone now coming out. They call them phablets. Those phones that are like bigger now and stuff. Apple's going to have one in September. Or they're going to announce one, I think, in September.
I mean, it's crazy, the technology. I mean, my first cell phone was rotary, so...
That one still works.
Yeah, of course, I still have it. So.
Did you ever have one of those big long phones?
Oh yeah, I mean my first phone and my
brick?
Mustang.
The brick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one that looked like a fax machine in my car. I mean, it's crazy, like the plastic over the numbers, you know.
What, in your expedition?
No, I just was going before the expedition.
Really? What'd you have before the expedition?
I mean, my first car was a BMW, then I had a Mustang, and I got a cell phone.
What kind of BMW did you have?
318i.
Convertible?
And I had it full. No, just a hard top, and I had it fully brothered out. If you know what I'm saying.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Bright red steering wheel, red rims. I mean,
I was about to
this
tell you
red
that
car.
you're like a black or a Mexican dude, man, getting all that shit on your car, man. You're the last person I ever would think would do that, to be into that.
You should
man.
get your name put across like the Mexican girls do their windshields. And instead of Yolanda, it'll say Big Earl.
yeah, but there's no room with that auto.
Well, you got to
Take that shit off, man. You've done your time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't call you back, remember?
How long have you had it on there?
About 7 years. I
Nice.
paid my dues, brother.
Take it off and put
You know what
Yolanda
you
on
should do?
there.
You should take that off and put your little @ sign and your
Yeah, at
and
Earl Skate.
your Twitter thing up there, man.
Yeah, I'm just following. You know, I'm trying to get more followers on Twitter. You know, that's how you make it in this.
I'm
business.
telling you though, dude, you're gonna have a good clout score. I bet you anything that I think they say that like if you have up to like 70%, you're considered a pretty
Yeah,
big influential person. I think I'm like at 50, 53
Yeah,
or
you'll
something
probably
like that.
be up to close to 70.
You'll probably be up to like 60, between 60 and 70.
Well, I mean, that's the thing in this business. It ain't about being funny. It's about having a high clout score.
Yeah.
But if you're funny and have a high clout
Yeah.
score, you're better. You know.
But, I mean, having a lot of, I know people who've gotten like development deals because they had a lot of Twitter followers.
Right.
Right.
You know, and Facebook, MySpace.
But see, I think now they're getting and that's something. Clout is actually getting smarter on that because now they've started to realize that you can have all the followers in the world, but if you can't get them to engage, you're worthless. Okay, so now that's what clout does. It measures not only how many people are following you, but how many people you engage when you make a post, how many people comment on it, how many people like your pictures, things like that.
It aggregates all that stuff.
So it takes all that information and then gives you a really more of a profile of if you're a bankable person.
yeah, I mean, I just want to make money in this business, man.
Really, I just want to give it all away. Every check, I'll just say, just enough for dinner tonight, and just give the rest to the poor. That's.
Hey, sorry to keep asking you some questions, but I haven't seen you in a while, so I'm curious about stuff like.
I bet.
Oh yeah, well, the stuff that I don't know about. Rob has a show.
Rob has a show called Real Rob.
Right.
Or just Rob or Real Rob? I'm not sure.
Real Rob.
I think it's Real Rob. I was on, I think, episode 2 where I play the owner, manager of a dispensary shop.
That's what I wanted to ask you, yes.
Oh, it was great. I mean, I had 3 or 4 scenes with Rob, and, it was an awesome time. I actually had to, smoke. I've never had a drug or drink in my life. And I had to, inhale, this herb
Fake.
weed type thing. I don't think it was fake because
Oh, really?
I definitely got high off of it.
Oh, really? It messed with your head a little bit?
And then there was one scene where I had to open up this actual jar of this really super intense weed, and I had to sniff it like I was telling him how good it was, and I got high from that. I couldn't get in the car for 4 hours because it was
You're just kind of hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're not used to it. Now, that show is still on the air, I believe, right?
No. His show on
it?
CBS, which I think was just called Rob, was canceled.
Right.
And which is weird because the ratings weren't bad at all.
What is Real Rob a web series?
Real Rob. Rob he's shopping it to people like Netflix, FX,
All right.
HBO, so on and so
And
forth.
he's putting all his money.
Yeah, and he's paying for everything, which is
Unheard of.
got to kind of admire that.
Yeah.
The day I shot, he was basically producing, directing, acting. I mean, it's a lot of, you got to give him that, man. He
Put your money where your mouth is, right?
yeah, I think he kind of
that's what he's
felt disappointed in how he was treated by the network. And
Said, fuck you guys, I'll do it
essentially, he said, fuck it, I'll do it my way. And
Who's that?
For him.
Rob Schneider.
Hey, you know what? I have to give him a lot of I have to give him a lot of credit because he was one of the few people. Well, I didn't say few, but I wasn't expecting this from him. He actually said something like, stop this bombing in Gaza or something like that, and which I thought he was more conservative.
Him and another guy did.
I thought
two guys that came out and said it.
Yeah, I thought he was a little more conservative. I thought somebody told me that he was more conservative, so I was very surprised that he did that. But I thought it was very ballsy. And so, whatever, that's pretty ballsy to do that. So I didn't think he was into that.
I don't think he's probably at the point with his career now. I mean, he's financing his own thing. He kind of, I think, is at the point where he says what he wants. And with, when I listened to you guys on the KFI 640 radio station, he was great.
Oh yeah, he's very well read and very
right.
really smart and very opinionated. So he's a great guy to do something like hosting KFI.
Right.
Hey, do you think
he's past the tiptoeing?
Is Joe Rogan smart?
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean he's very well read and he's also like a 4th degree black belt in jiu-jitsu. So I'm certainly not going to say he's dumb.
Right.
But,
no, I just wonder because I've only heard a little bit of his stuff, but a lot of people, I read more about him than I actually hear him, and a lot of people say, he's a guy that probably needs to do a little bit more scholarship, type of thing, like he might not be as smart as he thinks, type of thing. So I was just curious.
I mean, I don't think anyone's as smart as they think, or I don't think anyone's as funny as they think they are, except for me. And no, just kidding.
I think he's friends with Alex Jones, and so if he's friends with Alex Jones, then that means that he's not as smart as he thinks.
Well, he's really into the like the Martians and the Bigfoot stuff, but sometimes he's mocking it. So he's got a great gig because. He's the main announcer for you, or he's the main color guy,
right?
I think for the UFC, and so UFC has all these events now.
How much does that job pay? Probably.
I'm sure it's a couple $100,000, but what he does is the night before he'll do a theater in whatever city they're in,
right?
Which completely sells out,
right?
So it's a great gig, man. I mean,
oh wow!
And he's the great thing about him in the UFC is he does it like at a very high level. So he's very knowledgeable. Like even if you don't like the UFC
right.
or MMA, you appreciate his announcing because when he says this guy's doing this, he should do that. It's like
he knows.
He knows.
Wasn't he going to be a fighter?
I don't think very seriously he was. I mean, as good as he is, I think the reality of he probably sparred with someone just to gauge
right.
And he probably got his, maybe handled fairly easily. Right. And he's like, maybe I'll just stick to announcing. Yeah. But he's very tough dude. I mean, he's like a legit black belt. There's kind of black belt world and jiu-jitsu is ridden with scams. I mean, it's like, I could start a black belt school.
Like you think if you went up to Joe Rogan and you started insulting him really bad, you think he'd beat the shit out of you?
I mean, he's probably afraid to get sued, so he'd probably laugh it off.
Okay.
I'm sure those guys. I'm sure he gets challenged by drunks after a comedy show.
Come on, I'll take you.
Those hosting gigs do pay a ton of money. What's the guy that does Ninja Warrior?
Oh yeah,
he's doing that shit. He's got a house down here in Hollywood. He invited me over to a pool party, and he's been doing it for a while now.
Oh yeah, I mean, hosting.
They film it down in Venice.
Hosting a TV show and that's on a network. I mean, that's it's like doing audience warm up on a network show. It's like $1,000 a day. So I mean, it's good money. So
wow.
Yeah, especially if you're doing it season to season. Yeah. I'm sure it climbs up.
You can make money at podcasts. My one buddy makes about $8,000 a month, but he's very established and like, he's associated with Rogan, so he gets a lot of Rogan's listeners
right.
and. I think.
Yeah, Yoshi came on to our show, and he was telling me when I picked him up to take him to the studio that Rogan had so many hundreds of thousands of listeners. And,
yeah, I mean,
and he said it actually dropped off once this other guy left. Was it Jim Jeffries?
Well,
He
they.
said-
I
did
think
they have
Rogan has
his own?
He's on this network called Death Squad,
All
which
right.
is Brian Redband, who's a good buddy of mine. That's his network. So people come and go, but as long as you have Rogan on, it doesn't matter who goes.
Right.
I mean, he's like the number one guy. So, but you get ads and
He's the number one podcast.
I think he's on iTunes. He's
Since the one guy's podcast got turned into a television show, right?
Yeah,
Mark
Maron might be. It's Maron and Rogan are the number two, one and two guys.
right.
So, I wouldn't mind being, at least featured on iTunes.
I'm still trying to get a review. I'm still trying to get enough reviews to actually show a review.
Yeah, the one review we got listed. Well, we got one from a friend, then the next one was spam. It looked so promising at first.
Yeah, guys says,
Until he
hey,
said these two really know what they're doing.
yeah, he's like, hey, these guys really know what they're doing. Follow me back at so and so.
Yeah.
And then you go to his site and you realize that he's just trying to line up all these podcasts and link to his podcast. And I was like,
There's all kinds of fucking schemes
God.
and scams. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I wrote my first review on iTunes.
oh really?
Yeah.
Who'd you write it for?
For this show.
No, for my show.
Yeah, I meant for this show.
Just to get the ball rolling.
Yeah, of course. That's
I
the way
talked
you
about
got to
how
prime
shit-
the pump.
You have to. Dude. I talked about, I tried to cover it up by saying the audio kind of sucks, but it kind of adds to the the niche of the show.
That's the old,
back and find that.
that's an old T-Boom
Yeah.
Pickens tactic.
I think my name was Vinny Weldon.
I think it's time for you to assume some new identities or like an underground anonymous identity and hit like Facebook or something.
Actually, Facebook T-Boom's Pickens.
Yeah,
That's what I should have done with my Attention LA Comics. Instead, that just shows up on Earl, my Twitter feed.
Is it too late to get on Twitter a name that sounds a little bit like T Boone Pickens, maybe just like
T-Bone Pickens.
T_Boone_ Pickens to see if you get that name and say, hey, it's T-Bone Pickens and T Boone.
But everyone knows it's me, and like my writing style is pretty specific.
Oh God, I wish if only there was an archive of that shit somewhere, man, where we could find those posts, man. That would be.
They're not like
You can. My buddy
Chuckle Monkey or something.
might be able to hang with you in the computer literacy world. He there's some archive site where you can find.
There's a thing called the Wayback Machine, and if you just go to archive.org, it's there. And you're supposed to be able to put in a date and you'll see something. But the thing is that doesn't work very well with what they call dynamic sites. Okay, so if those posts and everything were really just a database that was like showing you messages and stuff, they're not really good at showing you that stuff for those days.
Well, this is breaking news.
Yes.
Breaking news. I just got a tweet, a message
Yes.
from Speak of the Devil, Lay It Down, Round and Round,
Nice. He's ready to go.
11:16 p.m. Hey, bro, let's interview Friday. Give me a time.
Yes.
Ah, nice.
So, breaking news. In
Nice.
the Inappropriate Era. We're doing it right here.
Congratulations. Is he coming over, or are you going to have to go to him?
I hope he comes over, and then that means I bought a $1,000 mobile system for absolutely no reason. But,
Do you have any thoughts of taking Inappropriate Earl on the road or out to some locations?
You have good visual guests, so you should take a live show somewhere or something.
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm just kind of like, not that 36 episodes in, I should be working out the kinks, but I'd like to, doing this podcast is like why I audition for commercials. I just want to get better stand-up gigs.
Right.
So that's why I'm doing this, just to get a following, and
Right.
so you can go to San Diego and like Red Band, who does Joe Rogan's, he sells out clubs on his own, and he's fairly new to comedy, but he's got
like the
such
Comedy Palace and the
he does, like, I think he does a lot of shows at the American Comedy Company, which is the only club recently to headline me, which is kind of cool. But if you have a large following, you can get booked by any club. 'Cause they don't really care if you're funny or not. They just want the seats filled.
Hey, how long have you been out? How long has it been since you've been, or have you been out on the road now that you're kind of single now?
Well, I mean, in terms of looking for tuna.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
I mean, I never really,
I used to see some pictures of some chicks kind of, getting excited and
After the
stuff.
show.
Yeah, after the show and everything.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
I didn't know if you probably. I said you might have still been in a relationship. I was just curious if you'd gone out on the road since you've been single.
yeah, I mean, I would say after I was single, I do okay for a non-celebrity,
Oh, nice, man, nice.
You,
I don't,
I take the the route of if you got to talk about how much pussy you're getting, you ain't getting any. The guys with the biggest dicks, they never talk about it because they already know. But let me tell you this right now.
Jesus, that's huge.
You want a ride of a lifetime and a guy who can buy you dinner after instead of being some sleazy bar dweller? You come see Big Daddy.
You heard it, people.
So no, I'm just kidding. I'm getting,
I like that. Was that Razor Ramon too?
Oh yeah, that was Razor Rude. I've combined
The two
Rick Razor.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I like it, man.
Which was the best. I told you guys off the air, but I recently did the Iron Sheik roast, and it got it right up in the Rolling Stone. It was great, and I was originally just supposed to do the Ultimate Warrior halfway through, and the first guy is going up there, and it was a tough crowd. I mean, they want to see the Iron Sheik, they want to see Buff Bagwell, they don't really want to see any of us because they don't know who we are,
right.
And so the guy's not doing too well. He's like, the Iron Sheik's manager's like, Earl, get out there, I could just do something. I'm like, well, I got to put the makeup on. It takes a while because the Ultimate Warrior, even though it's not a complicated design, it still takes a while to do it. And my friend Jordan Lee, who is a great friend, and he's a big wrestling fan, he does it perfectly. He's like, no, just here's a mustache. Go out there as Rick Rude, and because I sometimes late night at the Comedy Store, will be brought up by David Taylor, who's a really funny comic, and he plays my manager, and I do Rick Rude to the crowd, and they love it. So I go out there, 400 people in the main room of the Comedy Store, and I just start insulting the crowd. I'm like, I'd like to take a moment to tell all you greasy, sweaty Armenian sweat hogs to keep them, and they're all Armenian and Persian because the Iron Sheik is from Tehran.
Oh, that's so funny. Came out to see the Iron Sheik.
So it's a pretty heavily Middle Eastern crowd. And
a lot of hummus ordered that
time. And I'm like, and hold your fat girlfriend and wives down so they don't storm the stage like a rhino while I show them what a real sexy comic looks like.
Oh, that was the best, man.
And then I do his, how he would gyrate his hips, and then of course I had a female plant in the crowd. I'm like, now I know before I leave this stage that one of you whores wants the rude awakening.
The rude awakening.
Who wants my lips planted on theirs? And she was great. She played like this dumb wrestling fan. She's like, oh, I do. And so she gets on stage, and I make out with her in front of everyone. And
nice.
Like I'm grabbing her tits and stuff, and like the crowd's going nuts. And
do you guys practice that?
No. I mean, I mean, let's just say there may have been a practice session beforehand. So
walked her through it.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna start here. Oh, you okay with it? Okay. Then I'm gonna move here, and then what about one finger? No, okay, that's fine. I'll just stop. I'll just stop.
The 2-knuckle shuffle. So, but yeah, that was fun. And then I came back later on in the night as Ultimate Warrior, which was great because the first on the first seat was Buff Bagwell. He's a very famous pro wrestler.
Right.
And it was always rumored that he and Warrior were gay prostitutes in Atlanta before they made it.
Ah.
So I walk out and, I run through the crowd like a maniac. They're playing the Ultimate Warrior's music. I'm throwing my fucking jacket on people and just acting like I don't know how to get on the stage. So I'm acting like completely coked up. And I get there and the music stops. And I'm like, hey, Buff, you probably don't remember me from this angle. Let me bend over in front of you so you know me. So I literally put my ass in his face, and he's loving it. And like he was the best part of the roast because he was. Let's just say I think he had some cocktails in him, and
He's having fun.
yeah, he was. I mean, what a thrill for this guy to be in a room full of 400 people who love him, and everyone wants his picture, and he was awesome.
Can you imagine if that guy was a prostitute? A gay prostitute around that time, and he's going to a hotel room at the Omni or something, and Tree Rollins is waiting up there for him.
Tree Rollins, one of my favorite players as a kid.
Tree Rollins of the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah. Because I was just thinking, they're in Atlanta. Can you imagine that? That would be so funny if you could, see the what other Washington Atlanta celebrities of that time would be calling up a male prostitute. That would be shocking.
Maybe Dan Roundfield. See, that's when I followed the NBA. So Tree Rollins,
Lou Hudson,
Sweet Lou Hudson, Wes Unseld. He was at the Washington Bullets.
Yeah, but still.
I love that era. Not just music, but sports. I mean, that's when white guys were in the NBA.
You're right, man. That was a great era for sports.
All the Celtics except for JoJo White.
Yeah, I mean, who else? There was another guy on the Hawks. Because it's weird. Like, I grew up in L.A. I have to stand up because my joints are getting fucking fried.
They had a couple good guards, Lou Hudson and somebody else.
But I grew up a Hawks fan because I got WTBS.
WTBS, yeah.
Or TBS at the time.
Yeah.
No, it was WTBS.
It was WTBS. Now it's CBS, yeah.
So I grew up like a Cubs fan because we got the
Channel 9, WGN.
WGN.
Same thing.
Which is, and then I grew up a Ranger fan hockey-wise because I got WOR, which is how I became a Howard Stern fan because, he was on WOR. I would not go out on Saturday nights until I watched Stern, his TV show, which was, I thought, was funniest. So, because like the King games, of course, now they're on, winning Stanley Cups left and right. They just signed a deal on KABC, I think 790.
Right.
Which is huge for a hockey team to be on such a big station like that. Because this year they were on the Patriot, Rush Limbaugh's station. Which
they're on you're right. They are at 11:50.
But you couldn't hear them. You could be in the Patriot Studios parking lot and you couldn't get the signal.
Oh, no. You're right. It's the worst station, man.
It's just a bad signal for whatever reason.
Rush, I think we should send all these Mexicans back.
I've sent him a message already. He said the excellence in broadcasting.
Baba Booey. Now, let's get into this. I mean, I know, let me see. We're hitting a nice stride here. It's we're at an hour and 37 minutes.
Yes.
And first of all, I very much appreciate you guys coming back.
Oh, of course, man.
I'm
sorry we couldn't get down here earlier. It's just a pain. Yeah, it's just always we've been really busy.
No, I know it sucks. That, I mean, which is, but this is one of the things I don't like about comedy. Is you guys are probably my two best friends, along with Roger Rod. Like legitimate friends. If I quit comedy, I would still talk to you guys.
You don't have to include him. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe not Roger, but I mean, who I saw last night at the roast battle.
Oh, no way.
Because they have the black show on in the main room on Tuesday nights, and then the roast battle is upstairs. So it's a really interesting crowd.
Dynamic.
And then the roast battle is getting so big, a lot of the black celebrity comics are going upstairs to watch it.
Oh, wow.
Because that's a very popular style with black comics, is basically
talking shit to
ripping on each other.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like Your Mama.
Yeah, but it's more elevated than Your Mama, because Your Mama jokes are kind of just stolen and borrowed. Like, Your Mama's so fat when she sits around the house, she sits around the house. These are like if me and Chris were to do it, or me and you, I would have to look up, like, information on you. You guys would
Right.
have to look it up on me, and then you just talk shit about your appearance,
Right.
my jokes, and it gets brutal, man. And you have to have a lot of jokes because it's 3 rounds, and the first round is tit for tat. So it's like I do a joke, Chris does a joke, and then it gets like intense, and then
Right.
the second round's the toughest because you have to do as many jokes in 30 seconds. So it's like,
But there's not ever a time where you actually just go back and forth with each other.
well, that's tit for tat. Like the first round is like, well, you could make, and it gets real personal. Like that's why I'll never. I mean, I'm doing it against Dolph Ziggler,
right.
But that's more like, a fun one.
Right.
I'm going to make fun of him.
Right.
So some enemies have been made from.
Oh yeah, it gets like there were these 2 girls a couple weeks ago that were acquaintances, but they weren't friends,
Right.
and it got ugly fast.
Oh, really?
Because the crowd wants blood, and like the belly room's a very small. You guys have been up there.
Right.
It's a very small stage, and the first row of seats is literally like
Right
your
there.
knees probably can touch it.
Right.
So the crowd it's beyond capacity. So they want blood, and it's like I'm sure if I did it, I know what the first line of attack would be. So I'm no dummy. I'm a thinker.
Wow.
So
Oh man, I don't want to do that. Fuck
Oh, it's
that.
brutal. You got any skeletons, ex-girlfriends will be brought up. Current girlfriends will be brought up.
Rumors.
Yeah, rumors.
Right.
And at the Comedy Store, it's a very, everyone knows everything.
Oh, fuck that, man.
So it's not, I mean, the Comedy Store is the worst place in the world to have this contest in the sense of, any skeletons you have, everyone knows.
Right.
So, if you took a fat chick up into the belly room to get a blowjob, everyone knows. If you cheated on your girlfriend or boyfriend, everybody knows.
Oh, wow.
So it gets personal. Like, you could be dating a girl and,
They're talking about her smell
she's
like
in the
cunt.
room, and well, your pussy smells. Well, your dick was small. Well, you took dick pills. Well, I had to because you have a fucking this, and it gets that
man.
personal.
Your yeast infection.
Yeah. Well, you
Oh,
have zits on your back. Well, you gave them to me with your greasy skin, and it's like it just disintegrates.
oh wow.
So.
Oh no.
But it's really fun. I mean, it'll get on TV.
August 26th.
Yeah, August 26th, Dolph Ziggler and I, I'll probably, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it as me or as a wrestling character.
Oh, yeah.
I was just on eBay before you guys came on looking for Rick Rude t-shirts. I thought I'd come out and, do the...
Yeah, I
and-
love that.
And Dolph's he's a really nice guy. So it's, I think we both know it's just
It'll be fun.
kidding around and...
See, I would rather come out as a character because then maybe he would only have to focus on your character and not your personal.
Yeah, but I mean, I know the great thing is that in these roasts is everyone writes for everyone.
Right.
So
Right.
like I'm sure I can only imagine what people are telling them about me. Hey, he whatever with whoever. You might want to bring that up, and let's just say I'll be very prepared.
Wow. Wow.
I know a few things about him.
Oh, great. You've done your homework.
So
it sounds
Ziggler,
like.
if you're listening to this, you piece of shit.
Ah,
You're in my world now, and I do my research, so I know who you've been poking, brother.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
And he's a super nice guy, so it'll be fun. But
Hey,
you know.
is Buff Bagwell really a gigolo now?
Yeah, he's on that show Gigolos, and I think you go. I forget the name of the agency, but if you go on their website,
Right.
And I actually would give it out if I remembered it. You can, and that's one of the roast jokes I wanted to do against him, because it gives the breakdown of the prices. So the whole thing of the Iron Sheik roast is obviously you say a few lines about the Sheik,
Right.
but you also make fun of the other comics on the show. And
Right.
I think there was like 4 of us and then 4 wrestlers. And,
Right.
I didn't do it because, the Warrior, the Warrior.
Right.
His character is so, he just rambles. And so I didn't really get into material. But there's the price list for Buff Bagwell. It's like $3,000 for the night, $5,000 if he spends the night, $10,000 for a 3-day weekend, and then it was like $25,000 for the week. Like, who the fuck would want to spend a week with Buff Bagwell. And I wanted to go, hey, Buff, how much does it cost to get you out of the wrestling business? 'Cause I'll sign that check right now. And it was great. I mean, some of the jokes were just great. Like there's New York comic Mike Lawrence. He did a Chris Benoit joke, which was awesome. I mean, no one, because he was, Chavo Guerrero was one of the, roasters, and, he knew Chris Benoit pretty well.
Did they mention Eddie Guerrero?
No one did that. That was his brother.
Yeah.
So everyone was being cool, but, Mike Lawrence, he didn't care. He's like, something like, Chavo, you've got the wrestling skills of Chris Benoit's babysitting skills or something. That's not the joke, but it was something similar,
Right.
and everyone loved it. And, I got pantsed, actually. When I was the Ultimate Warrior, I'm doing my thing.
Right.
And that black tag team, Crime Time, they were on the dais, and I'm like, Crime Time, the only crime you guys committed was getting on TV as wrestlers. Got a big laugh, and I'm not really paying attention to what they're doing.
Right.
I'm in front of everyone. I'm like, after seeing you guys wrestle, I think Donald Sterling had a point. And all of a sudden, I feel these massive black hands on my underwear, and he just rips my underwear off.
Oh,
So I'm on stage at the Comedy Store with my dick hanging out, like my balls are out. And I'm all scared, so I put my pants back on real fast, and, like, I can feel my dick is out still, and, like...
it's just on video or
Yeah, and that's, like, in the Rolling Stone article,
Oh, really?
The guy kind of took a cheap shot at me. He's like, yeah, and some guy dressed up as the Warrior with his dick out. That just shows you the kind of night it is. I mean, this was the stage Richard Pryor was on.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's
Kind
brutal.
of made me feel bad.
Was that in the web Rolling Stone, or was it actually the print?
Oh no, not the print.
Okay.
It's like the online.
Okay.
But the cool part for me was they posted my Rick Rude set.
That's where I saw it. That's where I saw it.
So that was kind of neat.
Oh, it was great, man. It was great. I'm telling you, when I saw that, I said, God, Earl, he's all into fitness too, and he's got a good size, he's got good mic skills. I said, well, maybe he just couldn't take the abuse on his body or something like that. And I was like, well, doesn't he play that hockey? They abuse each other and stuff. Like, wouldn't...
Well, not at 45 could I think venture into the world of pro wrestling. But, let's just say after the breakup, I spent a lot of time in the gym.
Oh, yeah, man. You're probably the most famous workout comic that, on
Carrot Top.
on Facebook, though. I mean, this Facebook, does Carrot Top, does anybody follow Facebook, Carrot on Facebook?
I got no problem with the guy, but I don't follow him on Facebook.
No, I wonder if he says he's going to the gym, though, or you think he just does it?
I think he just does growth hormone and sits around all day. But no, he's...
Does he still do comedy?
Oh, hell, he kills it in Vegas. I
Vegas.
think he's like the house guy at the Luxor.
Yeah, he's the king of one of the clubs there.
So, well, I mean, and people, that's the thing about comedy. It's like you disappear like from the mainstream, people think you're a has-been, but that guy makes millions in Vegas.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing kind of with Dice, who I actually have become relatively friendly with at the Comedy Store. He's a super nice guy.
Have you seen Dice's son?
Max. Everyone calls him Baby Earl.
Yeah, he looks just like a young Earl,
Yeah, he looks just like me.
but not nearly as funny.
Well, no, he's pretty funny.
But he is funny.
I felt bad for him one night. We were doing a show together, and a Joey and Jimmy show. So it shows you the quality of the gigs I was booking.
Nice.
And Max is up there, and he actually is really funny. And but it was a tough room that night, and none of us were doing well. And someone yelled out something to the effect of, "You're like a shitty Dice Clay," not knowing that that's his dad.
Right.
And he was cool about it, but it's just like It's like I see Andy Dick's son, who's really super funny dude, Lucas Dick. He has to deal with his dad's shenanigans, and it's hard. I think being related to a famous comic.
Oh.
So, like I know Richard Pryor's son does comedy. I can imagine what he goes through. And
I saw him one time, but then I never saw him again after that.
well, it's tough being related to someone famous. I mean,
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, yeah. Cry Me a River, man.
Yeah. Isn't that a Kiss song from the 80s? I was listening to some of those Kiss songs from the 80s, man. They're the best, man. Especially off of Animalize.
You know what? I listen to that all the time because I'm playing the drums, and and there's some really when that was like the drumming that I would say if I could play like this guy can play, I'm gonna be really happy. And I started getting that, but then I started listening to like death metal, and they're like nuts on the drums.
Oh,
and
double
stuff.
bass.
Yeah, like that and stuff. But you're right, Animalize. I listened to there's the song what's it called? Into the Fire, Out of the Cold, Into the Fire, something like that.
Hold on, let me get that. You guys keep talking.
It's like out of the cold into the fire. That one, and then there's another one on the other.
I've had enough.
Yeah, I've had enough.
And I would play a clip of that, but I think I did that once on a podcast, and SoundCloud took it down.
Oh shit!
Yeah, which is scary that someone's listening to my show.
And then they have another. There's another song that I listened to from them. It's from that same album. It's because they both of them have really good drums. What's it called? Let's see.
Burn, bitch, burn.
No. Let's see. What is it? I think both of them start the
Thrills in the Night.
No. I have that one too. But they're the beginning song on each side of the cassette. I should say that'll probably be the best way to remember it.
Under the Gun.
Okay, Under the Gun.
Under the gun, gonna do it my way.
Yeah. Yep, that's it.
Well, I like Burn, Bitch, Burn when Gene's like, bend over and let me put my log in your fireplace. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But here's an interesting Kiss fact.
Wait, Under the Gun, that's on Lick It Up, isn't it?
No, Under the Gun, I'm looking at it right
Oh, really?
now. It's on Animalize, and I've got the remastered version for shits and giggles. Fuck. Because Under the Gun, well, Animalize is an interesting Kiss album because it's the only album featuring the late great Mark St. John on
He was a
guitar.
good guitarist, man.
Well, but Kiss always shits on him now because they were like, he played too fast. He played like a bumblebee. He played 1,000 notes a minute. But that's what you want.
I thought. As a matter of fact, I'll go out and say that for me, Animalize is my favorite Kiss album.
Well, yeah, it's funny because you and I are around the same age.
Yeah.
Obviously we knew who Kiss was in the 70s with the makeup when they were in their prime.
Right.
But to me, like the first Kiss album I had was Love Gun as a kid, but the first Kiss album I bought, like with my own money, and when I say my own money, I mean the $20 my dad gave me, was Lick It Up. So
that's when I got into him too.
But that's when most hardcore fans checked out. But that's why I'm so obsessed with Vinnie Vincent because he was the guy on the cover, Lick It Up,
right?
Then he, got fired, and Mark St. John came in. I mean, Kiss had 3 lead guitar players in 3 straight albums.
Yeah.
But I felt bad for Mark St. John because Animalize was when Gene was doing his movies and acting in Miami Vice. Paul was,
coming to terms with his sexuality.
Yeah, whatever. And Eric Carr had no say in the band, so Mark St. John would be in the studio with Michael James Jackson, the producer. And basically, like Gene and Paul would call Michael James Jackson and say, "Tell him to play this and do that," and then so he was like, he didn't know what to do, like. So, and then Gene and Paul criticized him, say he sucked. It was like, well, you guys weren't even in the fucking studio with him. So,
Right.
Oh no, I thought he took Kiss. Well, I thought that Mark St. John guy, he took Kiss to another fucking level. I thought he was even better than Vinnie Vincent. I mean, I thought he was the best, and I was so bummed because I wanted to go see Kiss specifically to see him play guitar and stuff. And then by the time they got to Lubbock, I was like, that's not him.
probably Bruce Kulick.
Yeah, it was Bruce Kulick. And I was like, who was a good guitarist, a really good guitarist. But I wanted to see that guy, man, because he seemed to be really, really good. And then didn't he have like a bad hand thing?
Well, that's the story.
Oh, really? Do you have an exclusive for us here?
Well, not really. I mean, he's dead. That's the exclusive. But I think that...
no, not AIDS.
Well, no, that's Robin Crosby. I think Mark St. John died basically of a meth addiction. He was pretty fucked up.
Oh, no. I didn't know that.
But he... probably the rarest Kiss bootlegs are... he played like a concert and a half. He's only done... basically 1.5 concerts with Kiss live.
Oh, wow.
So that's a very...
How to find those?
Well, you can find audio, but I don't know if any video exists. But there's a great picture of, I think, the last concert where it's Mark St. John and Bruce Kulick on stage, like doing they're waving to the crowd.
Oh, they were like switching in, tag teaming or something like that?
Yeah, because I think he did have writer's syndrome, which
Right.
is inflammation of the joints of the hand.
Oh, okay.
But then again, he was in a band 2 years later called White Tiger. So I don't know. I think he just didn't fit.
Ah,
But, that's what was big at the time.
right.
In
Big,
the
powerful guitar like
in
that.
the mid '80s, the top guy. Well, Van Halen started everyone thinking, going, okay, we need a hot shot,
Yeah.
fucking insane guitar player. And
Right.
Absolutely.
Ozzy had Randy Rhoads, and then Jakey Lee, and then you had Dokken with George Lynch, and so Kiss, they're the biggest fucking bandwagon jumpers ever. If polka was big, they'd get a polka guy in there. And
Right.
So he was perfect for that era, but
Right.
I saw Kiss. I've never actually seen Kiss with their makeup on. And now that I think about it, now that I see Gene Simmons, I don't see how I could go to a concert and see him without. I mean, I don't think I could bear seeing him on stage perform without makeup.
Oh, they would never go back to non-makeup.
I mean, he looks really so bad on. Even he looks bad on television. I can't imagine what he would look like sweating up there on stage.
Ugh.
It's at least makeup. That's a good way of keeping your. Those guys were smart.
Well, I think he went to the Greta Van Susteren plastic surgery school because he got ripped off.
Oh,
Really? He had a
man.
bad job?
What about Paul? Does he do any plastic surgery?
Well, Paul looks like he's in a perpetual wind tunnel. So,
Oh, man. He's had it pulled back.
he's got pullback, kind of something going on with the hairline. Probably a chin implant, I would guess.
Would that be a dream score on your show if you got Paul Stanley to come in?
I mean, I tweeted him a few times.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if he would have a sense of humor, though. I mean, and I'm sure he's sick of answering the same questions.
Right.
What was it like putting the makeup on? And I would love to get him because I would try and ask him more stuff on the 80s.
Right.
Tell us about the Mark St. John experience.
Right.
Tell us about Vinnie Vincent. And, it's like when I have Stephen Piercy on, he's probably sick of tell us when you were Mickey Rat in San Diego. I want to almost do a reverse timeline. And let's talk about now and then, what was Robin Crosby like?
Would you say what was up with those intros? So would you
yeah. When I was just a boy, it's like, when did you turn into a gay black Jew, Paul? So it's hard to interview someone like Paul Stanley, who's obviously a legend, and,
Right.
He's been asked every type of question, but I would try and ask him questions he hasn't been asked either at all or that much, and
See how it goes.
Do you think anyone's ever asked him if he's gay?
I don't think I'd ask him that.
No, I said, do you think anyone's ever asked him?
I'm sure, and he's pretty quick though. I think one guy kind of did ask him that, and he shot back really fast. Why, are you interested?
Oh,
So he's pretty quick.
you know how we were talking before? We talked about David Lee Roth and if David Lee Roth was gay, or whatever like that. And then we went to go see him at that concert. I saw him and I was like, oh God, he's just prancing around there. Like he just seemed like so gay and flamboyant.
Oh my God.
But the weird thing was the other day I was watching that David Lee Roth video because I wanted to see what's her name, Maria, on there. And then I started watching that video, and I watched the whole video for Yankee Rose, and I saw him perform. And now that I'm older and I see that, I'm like, oh God, that's so gay. I mean, I see his performance now. I see it. It's like, oh, it didn't become gay. It kind of always was, but I was just there was just such a fog because of the music and the excitement, and him, just thinking of him and rock and women and testosterone and everything like that. I didn't even see how gay it was.
I mean, none of us did. I mean, I didn't even think he did.
But it's almost like when I saw him perform the other day on that video, I was like, he was almost like a male stripper. You know,
That's kind of common though. If old rockers do that, they prance around. Even when they're not gay, they do a lot of prancing up and down. That's not.
But I
really...
mean, and it's the same thing with Paul Stanley. I don't know if he's gay or not, but these guys fucked so many girls that it's like, and this is kind of an old joke I do, but I'm not trying to squeeze in a joke, but it's like, if you fuck thousands of girls and then you want your dick sucked by a dude, that's not gay. That's being bored.
Yeah.
Now, if you only fuck like one girl and then you want to take it in the ass, well, that's probably gay. But so I mean, it's like, and it's hard for most straight guys to like think of that. Like, no way, man, I'd never fuck so many girls where I'd want a dick. But just basic math. You got to figure guys like Gene and Paul. Say Vince Neil, but let's just David Lee Roth. Let's just take Paul Stanley.
Okay.
He's been playing music probably since late 60s.
Right.
40 plus years.
So you figure even in the early 70s, he was probably fucking 20, 30 girls a year.
Okay.
That's conservative. Kiss becomes who they become. He's probably fucking hundreds of girls a year, or getting his dick sucked, or his, hand jobs, his butt licked after concerts.
Who doesn't like that?
For 40 years. So that's thousands of girls. Who knows? I mean,
the numbers start to add up. That's why you're approaching Wilt Chamberlain's.
Yeah, it's uncalculable.
And then you say, you know what? I think I'll have a guy, fuck me in the ass.
It's crazy that you would get to that level of sexual depravity, but especially of a huge band like Kiss or Van Halen, like you're playing in front of 20,000, you almost get used to that adrenaline rush. So you probably like really start digging deep for like how to get off.
Oh yeah, that's the way people are in porn, man. They used to just be satisfied seeing two people fucking, and then they're like, no, you know what? Now I want to see two chicks. Oh no, that's not good enough. Now I want to see a black dude fucking a white chick. Now it's just like it's just people just keep on like changing. They want something different.
Now I want to see two girls shitting in a cup.
Yeah, exactly. It's
I mean, what's after that, man? I mean,
there's not very many other places that you can put it besides a cup. I mean, that's pretty small.
Well, you put it in your mouth, but you got to have a,
Did you ever hear my joke about when they killed Osama bin Laden? That he actually had some porn in his lair or whatever, and one of the titles was "Two Goats, One Cup."
Hello. Signed Chris. It's available.
At Tool Hater.
Yeah. What's your Twitter address?
I'm Tool Hater. but nobody follows me there. Just but good night. GNU Info is our show Twitter.
How do you spell it out for
GNUINFO?
Yeah. I mean, check out, and Cole, what's your Twitter?
At Comic Cole, with 2 C's in the middle. Comic Cole.
Do you do any damage on Twitter, Cole?
No. I don't
You got to, though. I mean,
gotta
that's how I
start
get
going
most
on
of,
there. Yeah, I know.
You're good, man. I'm telling you.
I have to. You have to be. I mean, like, I really use Facebook and Twitter to help promote this podcast, and I've gotten a fair amount of fans or whatever, listeners, and it's just trying to build that.
I'm growing tired of Facebook. Maybe I'm ready for a move to Twitter.
Really? I'm in the prime of my Facebook time, man. I'm having a great time on Facebook.
Yeah, but you like causing a stink on there.
He's giving this girl the business about her spelling today. She's grieving a couple. What was it?
Yeah, there was a couple in my hometown, and they got murdered. And so everybody's posting asking, "Oh, I'm sorry, prayers for the family, and rest in peace and stuff." And then this girl gets on there and she says, what the fuck was the word she had?
No.
Yeah, she goes, "Does anybody know KNOE? Like, with this person who was this was or whatever, we really need, my mother-in-law is from there, and we really need to know KNOE." So I responded to her and I said, "It is spelled KNOW." And then I said, "Learn it." And that's it. I just post that to her. And then she comes back and she goes, "I don't appreciate that. You're very disrespectful. You need to learn how to respect women. And, this isn't a time for this. This is serious." And I said, "Look, Learn how to spell. Or I forget what I told her.
You dumb cunt.
Yeah, no, I didn't have to go. I said something very smug to her, but just saying like, listen, lady, I don't know. I was just trying to tell you how to spell the word, and it's very disrespectful. It's you have no respect for yourself if you don't either learn how to spell or take the advice of people that show you how to.
You dumb bitch. People do that to me all the time on Twitter. I always misuse your.
Like, you and
your.
Yeah.
And I always Y-O-U-R.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
That one is, for me, that one's acceptable because sometimes just out of habit you're going so fast, you don't have to. But when you spell no, K-N-O-E, okay? And it's one thing if you do it once in a sentence, but if you in a paragraph or something, if you spell it more than once in a paragraph, you spell it twice, that means that's the way you think the word is spelled. Okay? Right. So you need to let them know this word is spelled T-H-O-W,
I think Cole just got a booty call on his... Oh, yeah.
That phone blows up, man. That's why he has to keep it constantly charged.
Cole's a real coxman.
He carries a big old battery pack. Well,
that's his pacemaker.
I might need that soon.
Well,
I got lost at Disneyland on Sunday trying to find my car in the parking structure.
Oh, that's a big, I
forgot what level we were on.
I thought you were going to say I got lost at Disney trying to find my dignity.
Trying to find the young boy's underwear he just molested.
He was taking some friends up there. He took some girls up there. Have you been to Disneyland?
I haven't been in a while, so...
Do you like it? Please don't tell me you like it.
I mean, I haven't been in probably 15 years. It
had been 30 years since I'd been there.
I mean, I would probably like it like Magic Mountain better because the rides are scarier.
Yeah, that's the way I am too.
Although they are shutting down, I think, Colossus.
Colossus, you know what? As a matter of fact, next week is the last week of Colossus, so I'm going to probably go.
Are you going?
Probably next Saturday. I think Alma has to work this Saturday, so I'm going to try to go at least next Saturday. For sure, because I do want to ride Colossus one more time before it closes.
I mean, yeah, that's like a cell phone Colossus. I mean, it's like when it first came out, it was like, this is the most, intense wooden roller coaster. And now it's like not even in the top 20 biggest, it used to be the fastest. It's not even in the top.
When you see it, when you're getting out in the parking lot and you see it out there, it's like seeing an old person get up. It really is. It's just kind of, you're thinking, God, is that thing going to even make it? But it hangs in there. It still works and everything. It's great. I'm going to ride it and I'm going to say, I'll give you guys $100 if you give me one backwards now. Yeah. That's what I would like to do.
Oh, one backwards
They
ride?
do that, I think.
Yeah,
I think Knott's Berry Farm. I think they have one.
Yeah.
Well, during, I think the last time I rode Colossus, actually, I rode it backwards because it was like on Halloween and they were only doing it backwards and stuff.
Right. Oh, cool.
As a matter of fact, that's the last time I was at Magic Mountain was like during a Halloween or something like that.
Well, I like the Revolution at Magic Mountain.
Is that the one that takes you like this?
Yeah, the
and
big,
then like this?
No, the Revolution's the one that had, now it's probably not even a big deal, but it's got the one loop. Right. Like you go upside down, like you do a full circle.
Oh, yeah. I know that one. I like that one too. Have you ridden that one called Tatsu?
I haven't been in.
Okay,
no.
You haven't been in 15 years. Okay, yeah, dude. Now they have rides, and it's like you sit down in it, and as soon as you sit down, it turns your body so it looks like you're in a position like you're on all fours.
Oh, great.
And it's holding you down like on all fours. Next thing you know, you're going like over all of Santa Clarita. Just like on all fours, and the only thing that's holding you down is this goddamn metal thing on your chest. And then the ride takes you like that. Then it takes you backwards. So then now you're on your fucking back.
Oh, wow.
And then it just shoots you through like it just shoots you really fast. It's insane.
And then some gay guy plows you in the ass. And then there you
California Adventure.
Yeah, that's California Adventure. No shit.
I'll see you in line at Boston Market.
Yeah, that one, but that one's fun. And there's another one called X2 now that's pretty cool. And that one's kind of interesting because it's like a roller coaster, and it's bringing you up backwards, though. And then it just drops you. Like so you go backwards on a roller. You fall backwards on a roller coaster like 30 feet. So it's pretty intense. And then
only 30 feet?
That seems to be a pretty big, and then it starts moving you around a couple of times. But just that one drop, that's enough.
I believe it, man. That Hollywood Tower of Terror threw me down there at California.
That's 100 feet, isn't it?
I almost lost my lunch.
Well, I was on a fat girl. Right right after the breakup. That was the wildest ride I've ever had. So
talk about Tower of Terror, man.
yeah, she was the Tower of
The
Terror.
round mound of.
Yeah, what goes around comes around.
Did you ever like when you're single when you're between relationships and everything? Did you have hookups? Did you spend the night, or did you leave, or did you like?
Oh, I was leaving as I was coming.
You're like, hey, we're still having sex. You don't need to put your shoes on yet.
No, my shoes were never off.
Just
No, I'm nice to girls, like booty call type girls, because, you always want to have them in the future. So.
Yeah.
nice.
You want to revisit?
Do you get those text messages from girls like in the middle of the night saying what's going on or anything like that?
I mean, yeah, because I treat them nice, and I don't treat them like they're just some whore.
Right.
I'll when I'm single,
I'm so jealous of your single life, man. I'm
I mean,
West Hollywood, you're right here. Oh my God, if I was your age,
Right below the Sunset
and I was
Strip.
at this place, and I was
you
single,
are my age.
no, but if I was your age
Oh.
and I was here at this place and I was single, oh God, man, I would go nuts.
I mean, I do okay for myself. I mean, I like.
I'm so envious of you, man. And it's I just like I live vicariously through you. Actually, I'm just like
Yeah, but it's also great having a girlfriend, and just.
Oh fuck that, man. Who gives a shit?
They're all cons. But you know what? If you treat them right, they always come back.
That's nice. Well, thanks
know
for having
what?
us back.
Because they think their grass is greener on the other side. Well, guess what, little buddy? It's shit brown.
Nice.
These are gonna get pulled down from SoundCloud for copyright infringement because they're so spot on, man.
Let me tell you something. You want to go to war with me? Ain't happening. You leave Big Daddy? Ain't happening. Tonight, it's happening.
Sweet.
So,
Oh God.
well, look for the Big Earl relationship show coming near you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to hear it, man.
Thanks.
I'm definitely down with it and stuff.
Are you getting hit up by a lot of comics to come do your podcast?
I mean, yeah, because I think they,
Yeah, of course.
they.
It's become more popular to go on podcasts now.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, stage time, I guess.
Absolutely.
I mean, and, I think, although I'm not killing it in the podcast world, I think I get a fair enough amount of listeners where it's worth their while to do it.
Right.
Right.
And, and then, I'll go on your podcast, and then
Right.
my listeners will listen to that. And it's crazy how it works, but it's just like... it's like that fucking shampoo commercial from the 70s. You tell two people, they tell two people. And then, it just...
Right.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
so,
I've been getting hit up a little bit more since I've been going out more.
and
Going
you
out
get
and doing
better
stuff.
gigs. I've gotten better gigs, because I think a fair amount of my fans are local. So it's like, hey, let's have Earl on, and his fans will come to the show. And
Nice.
then, so it's
I like
all-
that, man.
I mean, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying to figure it out. And,
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably too old to try out for Montreal New Faces, so I'm just trying to find out.
Find your way, man. Yeah.
Maybe audition for Montebello Old Prunes.
I think you'll find it.
I mean, it's all good. If you do comedy for the right reasons, you stick with it.
Are you comfortable doing a nude scene?
Well, how much am I getting paid?
It's gonna be you and Buff Bag.
There you go. I'll see you in room 4509 under the name Tree Rollins, who bit Danny Ainge's finger.
That's
That
right.
was a big fucking deal. There was a big brawl at center court, and I think Tree Rollins just grabbed his hand and bit it.
I remember that, man. That was a brawl from hell.
Well, that was probably the only one that is bigger than that was when
Kermit Washington
yeah.
punched the guy.
Rudy Tomjanovich.
Yeah.
Well,
Right
Kermit
into him.
Washington. It was just like I haven't been in a fight in God knows how long, but when Rudy Tomjanovich was actually
running
trying
in.
to
He ran right up into it.
stop him. He
Right.
wasn't going to hit him. He was just going to break it up. And Kermit Washington was like, "Fuck, I don't know you."
Right.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Tom Donovich just ran right into the punch, which made it even worse.
Broke his jaw and orbital bone. And
Yeah,
He had a big old
his
thing on
face.
his face for a while and
Yeah.
stuff. He used to play with a thing on his face. And
so.
hey, he won a couple of championships.
Oh yeah, he's doing
Coached the
okay.
Lakers.
I mean, yeah, but that's
He coached the Lakers too?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was no one. He didn't do very well.
They were in a downtime.
Wait, did he coach him after the Rockets or before?
after.
They thought, we'll get him in, but it just didn't
Oh.
work.
Yeah.
Phil Jackson
Because he
came
won
in.
in Houston.
Yeah, well, it's that's an interesting time now for the Lakers. You got no one wants to play for Kobe Bryant or with Kobe Bryant, so they're not getting any free agents other than the bottom of the barrel Carlos Boozer types, and
There's
They got
not.
Jeremy Lin.
yeah, but he's more of a novelty than he's not going to really help them.
We'll see.
Well, I think they got
He
him
did well
because
with the Knicks.
but he's under a lot of pressure, Jeremy Lin. Could you imagine being a 6'8" Asian
Yeah.
guy
Who can
showering
jump.
in an NBA locker room? I mean, how small must his dick look like?
You think even if they get that big, they still stay with little wieners?
Oh yeah, it's just no Asian guy has a foot long dong, so
You know what? I'm gonna find one. That's gonna.
Oh, yeah, no, there are.
That's gonna
Not
be.
maybe foot long, but there's Asians with
Hey,
these are-
Earl, tell me if you think this is a good idea for making porn. Okay, the gay porn.
Sure.
So
I like it.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get these bodybuilders, okay, these big muscle guys, okay, and they're gonna be 6'8" guys that are 300 pounds, huge muscle gay guys that big, okay, and then I'm gonna hook them up with a little the skinniest, young a gay
A twink.
yeah, a twink, and just have him have sex with him, but he's curling him,
Right.
like weights.
Yeah. I mean,
Do you think that would be popular?
just film it over at Brian Singer's next party. I mean, Twink City.
I feel sorry for that guy, man. I think he's got a bad rap. I think he tries to get he likes young 18-year-old boys, but you know what? There's a lot of men out there who like 18-year-old girls. And then there might be one that slips in under the radar every now and then, but the same thing happens with guys.
I'm one of them.
Who the fuck? Oh yeah, the other day we were. Who the fuck were we talking about? That somebody got married, and they married the girl. When they married her, she was 18 years old. I forget who the fuck it was.
I think it's that guy from Deliverance or that one actor, the character actor who's fucking that 18-year-old. They're married, but they got divorced. It was a big deal. Doug Hutchins or Doug something. He's a really well-known, prominent character actor, and he's now he's more known for being married to this 18-year-old twat.
And he's 60 or 70.
Yeah. So I mean,
that's a tough one to do.
Oh yeah, nothing beats a young gash.
What's are you comfortable if you're being in your 60s dating a girl that's 18 or something like
If
that?
I can get it up, I am.
Yeah, I think the saying is if you're able.
Yeah.
Have you
Go
seen
for
it?
it.
Have you seen that guy on Instagram, that bazillionaire guy, the Instagram playboy or something like that?
No.
It takes pictures of himself,
Dan Bazillionaire.
yeah, he takes pictures of himself
Or
like
Bilzerian.
big old stacks of cash, a bunch of bimbos at his house, and machine guns, and
Is he
it's
Tom Wu?
just no.
Remember that guy? And said, make money like me, you loser.
Oh yeah.
Some Japanese dude.
Tom Wu, I forgot about him,
And then
man.
Don Lepre. I ordered that guy's system twice.
Really?
I tried it once. I'm like, this is bullshit, and I threw it away. And then I saw the infomercial again. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna give it one more shot.
Nice.
So I ordered it, fucking, Then I got in that scam where you would get in those, fucking, you'd get a list of names you'd send $1 to.
Right.
And you stuff $1 in an envelope. You send it to an address, and they're supposed to add you to their list.
Right, so
and
then
in
you start
theory,
receiving
everyone
dollars.
sends each other $1, but in in months you'd get allegedly hundreds of people sending you $1, so you'd be a fucking millionaire. And I never got $1. scams. Money scams.
Oh, that's a great scam.
So there you go. Welcome to Hollywood. You know.
Wow.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, that's cool.
like, you know, I could go on forever.
I know.
But I don't know how long this fucking card is active for. We are at.
We're over 2.
Oh my God, we are at 3 hours.
Oh shit.
No, not quite 3. 2 something. We started at 10.
We started at 10. We are we're at a very high level here right now. So I think we've.
It's been good.
Let me see what time it is. I don't know how long we've been.
This show has gone on for so long. I think we're on another file.
It's another day.
No, I'm serious. Like I literally think that
It won't jumped over
it
into
jumped over.
I believe it.
I don't know how you edit that, but.
Oh yeah, we've been on for over about 2 hours, probably 2 hours, 15 minutes or something like that.
We are at 4 minutes of another file now.
It feels like a Good Night Universe episode.
Well, guys, I'm going to figure out how to edit these things. Can you mix 2 files?
I think so. I think you should be able to put them together. Or just, put them both up there, call them A and B, and just tell them just to download one after the other.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So, well, guys, Chris Ramirez, what's your Twitter info?
Twitter is Tool Haters Me. I'm Tool Hater, but my show is GNU Info, GNUINFO.
And Comet Cole.
Cole, yeah. I'm Cole Young on Facebook and all that stuff.
Well, thank you guys very much for coming.
Yeah,
we're going to have you back. I'm going to come on your podcast whenever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to come in studio, man.
Maybe your Sundays is your only night off.
Sunday's
right?
the only night off, yeah.
All right, well, we'll figure it out. And
All right.
I'll come on next week. Maybe Monday I'll do it.
Okay,
And,
very cool.
Sounds good.
Thank you guys for listening out there. We're on Inappropriate Earl on SoundCloud. And for you Steve Jobs nut swingers, we're also on iTunes. Leave a review. I leave them all up, good or bad. And, coming up tomorrow, we're doing a very special episode with a couple comics talking about the firing of the talent coordinator at the Comedy Store. We want to get some takes on that. And we'll have you guys back for... because you guys aren't Comedy Store comics, but I think you probably
I want to hear about it, yeah.
You want to get in there, so it'd be good to have 2 non-Comedy Store comics talk about it. I don't think there's enough time on the fucking file to get into that. And
I see smoke coming up from it.
Oh yeah. We're the Drudge Report, the Skakel Report, and then on Friday, Stephen Piercy from Rat and Roll.
Yes,
back
that's
for
gonna be
more.
awesome.
We're gonna lay it down way cool, as Mr. Piercy would say. And then sorry about the delay in podcast lately, but it's hard to get people to come here. So thank you for waiting, and hopefully, what am I, an NBA player? You guys will enjoy future shows. Thanks for the support, and you can follow me at Earl Skakel on Twitter. And as Donald Sterling would say, well, never mind.